Black technology, building a lightsaber starting from a graduation project. Welcome back, brave explorers of impossible worlds. We are excited to have you here to continue this odyssey together. Before we continue, everything you'll hear is pure fiction, so please don't try to replicate combat techniques at home. This wonderful story in all its rights belong to its brilliant original author. We are only the messengers of entertainment. Want another dose of adventure? Subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss a single chapter, and if you can't wait, our Patreon has exclusive surprises you'll love. Chapter 126: The First Collision of Sword and Shield. At the beginning, the discussions of those few people were still kept in a low voice. However, as the topic deepened, everyone's interest was picked up. The voice got louder, so Tang Heibo also heard the final results of the blaster experiment. 3 energy scales. The whole cryochamber experiment. It is absolutely safe because there is an automatic paralysis device. Is it absolutely safe to make a 15-meter hole? The most important point is that it is invincible below the missile, and it is also the invincibility that Akademician Lee himself admitted. This invincibility is really invincible. Although I did not participate in the final project but in the initial progress of the blaster, I was in the laboratory. I am also a member of the team. At that moment, I saw that the buns fell out of someone's mouth, and everyone turned their heads and looked at them with a surprised look. Tang Heibo really felt the charm of scientific research. It is pure joy. The joy of being respected by all. This is the first time in his life that he is proud to have participated in the scientific research of a major project, especially in the end, when they came out. All eyes were on them. At that moment, an idea suddenly appeared in Tang Heibo's mind. I am ordinary, but I am also great. The road is a long way to go, and I will go up and down to search for it. At this point, the lightsaber squad of 4 was chatting with each other at the testing ground. Captain, you said that the shield tested by Ziosu this time is really as magical as they say. In this special base in the Rhine Forest, everyone has high authority because the lightsaber itself is a top-secret project. Not to mention the goal of building this base, to develop lightsaber-centric tactics. Therefore, Li Yonghao did not limit the content of the experimental project. Last night, relevant staff were arranged to sort out materials, prepare equipment, and vacate the test site the next day. Almost everyone knew what Xu Teng was here to test. In the second half of the night, the lightsaber team went back to sleep for a while after standing guard. When I got up, I heard the surrounding experimenters discussing, the shield is very strong, and it is an epoch-making kind that can be resisted by any weapon, especially when they heard one of the most distant narrator, you hit me, the stronger I will be. What do you mean when you hit me? The stronger I am. This is serious. Oh no, normal shields. Yuan Farron tightened the lightsaber on his body, and after hesitating, he said, it shouldn't be. For scientific research, it's understandable to exaggerate a little bit. Don't they like to exaggerate the performance of many things? Doing scientific research inevitably involves funding. When the project is submitted, many people will write some beautiful words on paper for funding. Over time, researchers will habitually exaggerate a little bit, blow up performance. The youngest Wang Doyu frowned and said, Captain, before this, wasn't the lightsaber always a weapon in fantasy? Now, isn't it a weapon in reality? Yuan Farron, Tang Yuan, Liu Boran. The atmosphere fell into an awkward situation for a while, because what you said was really right. Li Yonghao, who had been silent for a while, almost laughed out loud. The sound of footsteps came from a distance, and everyone turned their heads. It was Xu Teng and his assistant, Tang Heibo, who came here. Compared with Xu Teng's calm aura, Tang Heibo was in a hurry and a little flustered. It was obviously the first time he participated in an experiment of this level. Li Yonghao greeted him. Ziosu, everything you said is ready. Do you want to start the experiment now? Nodding his head, Xu Teng said, let's get started. In the planned experimental process, first activate the shield in the first way, and let the lightsaber team send people to play. Then the 4 of them take turns trying to see if the shield can resist. As for why the 4 of them should take turns trying once, that's because lightsabers are basically the same, but there are subtle differences in the details: oscillation frequency, released energy. This is also the best way to test the strength of the ionic energy shield. After all, the ultimate purpose of this shield is to configure excellent individual soldiers first. Every extra second that lasts may affect the final result of the task. In everyone's guess, the ion energy shield is so strong, it must be a relatively big guy. Not only the lightsaber squad, but even Li Yonghao was curious because the existing shields are physical shields. That volume is bound to be large, different from the lightsaber wada concealment. Until Xu Teng removed the watch he had been wearing from the wrist of his left hand, fixed it on the test bench, and finally activated it. Boom, the air in front was blasted, and there was a certain disorder in the space. A transparent shield appeared in front of everyone. Yuan Firen, degree, Tang Yuan, oh, Ali Boran, Wu Cyrillic letter Des, Wang Doyu, Li Yonghao, other staff. It's not that I don't have knowledge, I'll declare it first, but the current situation is, this magical shield really exists. Horse riding, can a watch become a shield? And the surrounding air exploded. Everyone present, without exception, emerged the rumor that they had heard before. The more you hit me, the more excited I am now. It seems, it is absolutely impossible for someone else to brag, but our imagination is too narrow at this time. The lightsaber team looked at the transparent shield in the distance, and then at the lightsaber that wasn't activated. In this comparison, the lightsaber doesn't seem to be something that is absolutely necessary. Actually, the shield is also very fragrant. Inactive lightsaber. Tang Heibo, who had been watching the expressions of everyone around, almost laughed out loud. Look at your expressions. Gee, that's nothing at all. The latter two activation methods are truly magical. Xu Teng clapped his hands, attracting everyone's expressions. Now start the first stage of testing, starting with the captain. Take it slow one by one. Before coming, they read the experimental procedure sheet. Just activate the lightsaber and slash at the shield. Yuan Firen took a deep breath. To be honest, he was very clueless right now. Can an activated lightsaber really cut through shields? Before seeing the ion energy shield, he thought it was inevitable, but now, all in all, buzzing, the lightsaber in his hand is activated, emitting a red light as the captain. The lightsaber in his hand is the one with the highest oscillation frequency and the highest energy among the four lightsabers. All around were staring intently. Lightsabers and ion energy shields. This is the first collision of sword and shield. Who is strong and who is weak? Chapter 127. What is it? You hang up. All attention was on the red lightsaber. Yuan Firen took a deep breath and slashed at the shield in front of him. The red lightsaber passed through the shield smoothly, then a bang was heard. Shield broken. Yuan Firen was stunned. That's it. I haven't tried yet. What does this mean? I just slashed it in a normal way, and the shield was broken. At this time, everyone around them looked at each other silently, all in disbelief. Li Yonghao also secretly turned his head and glanced at Xu Teng, thinking in his heart, is this what Ziosu planned? Actually, this is really the scene in Xu Teng's theoretical calculation. The first activation method of the shield is that it cannot absorb energy. He simply wants to test whether the strength of the shield can block the lightsaber. Obviously not. Xu Teng didn't lift his head and said, the next one. Tang Heibo, who was standing next to him, had the same expression as usual, calmly recording various experimental data. Tang Yuan walked out with a complicated expression, looked at the reactivated ion energy shield, and thought to himself, the captain's lightsaber has the highest oscillation frequency, and it is normal to break the shield, while mine has a lower frequency. Maybe, with that in mind, he swung down his lightsaber. Boom, unsurprisingly, the shield was also broken. Tang Yuan, next person. At this time, Tang Heibo, who had recorded all the data completely, said, Senior brother, the data has come out. The shield of the first activation method cannot stop the lightsaber. Well, I saw it. As expected, the second activation method will start 3 minutes later. Good. Looking up, Xu Teng found that the atmosphere at the scene suddenly became weird, especially the lightsaber team. The four of them hesitated, as if they had done something wrong. Xu Teng was stunned for a moment, then understood, and said to the crowd, I expected the experiment just now. It's just the most common activation method. There are 2 activation methods in the back. Starting from the second one, it will be different. Expected. Are there 2 ways to activate? Everyone was stunned. This can also be expected. And Pen Interest Library. Why does a shield have 3 activation methods? There is only one kind of lightsaber. Xu Teng turned to Tang Heibo and said, Junior brother, clear. When the manipulator is pressed, the second activation method of the shield is activated. Different from just now. The air in front exploded instantly, and the shield formed immediately. This time, it's gold. Li Yonghao, Greek letter sigma, degree, lightsaber quartet, Cyrillic letter Des, water staff. Oh no, why does the shield become golden? It's also a shield, but I just changed the activation method, which subverted my imagination. Xu Teng said calmly, this time, let's go with 2 of you. Then, as if he remembered something, he said, by the way, pay attention to safety. Be careful. Everyone was stunned. No, to hit the shield with a lightsaber. What safety do I need to pay attention to? Pay attention to safety. It shouldn't be a shield. Yuan Firen pondered for a while, and said to Wang Doyu, For the first test, let the two of us come first. It is good, in fact. This was also something Yuan Farren considered. The lightsaber configuration is distributed according to the importance of the team members. Yuan Farren's lightsaber has the highest oscillation frequency, the lowest for Kingfish. This combination can effectively distribute the energy of each experimental blow relatively evenly. Buzzing, one red and one blue lightsaber was activated, and the two stepped forward, one left and one right, standing at the edge of the shield. Judging from their experience points, no matter what kind of shield it is, there will be weak points of force because of the processing of the material. It cannot be 100% the same. This means that hitting a force click can cause the most damage with the least amount of force. In the past, it was either the edge part or the center part. The two looked at each other, gave a light drink, and slashed at the edge at the same time. Boom, same sound as last time, but the results are different. Two activated lightsabers, one blue and one red, were blocked by the activated shield in the eyes of everyone. The surface of the shield is only a trace of ripples, like a stone thrown into the water. It has no effect. The two looked at each other, and there was a hint of surprise in each other's eyes. And think it's not the same as in the elephant. Why is it so easy? Isn't the weak point the edge? Or rather, not the edge. Hit all the edges, and if that doesn't work, change the center. It is good. Just as the two were struggling to find a way to break the shield, Xu Teng was staring at the data without blinking. When I was in the laboratory, Junior Brother Tang didn't absorb the energy until he hit for a while. According to the strength of the lightsaber, the time should be very short. It is possible. Just thinking of this, the meter data for testing the energy value jumped up. Then it started to grow crazy. Fuck, Senior Brother, look at this data. Tang Heibo was dumbfounded. Beside him, the energy provided by the magic modification device is limited, which means that if the energy is used up, the shield will disappear and enter a new charging stage. Pen Fund Library. From the current instrument data, the energy is going up. This means, as long as the lightsaber keeps hitting, my shield keeps unfolding. What? You say this is called hang up? The energy conversion efficiency is high. How can it be called a hanging thing? This really verifies the idea at the beginning. The more you hit me, the more hilarious I will be. So this is the charm of golden drawings. No, I can't say that. It should be said that it is the charm of the bonus of 2 golden blueprint products. What if I open 3 or more products with golden drawings in the project? Isn't that? Xu Teng's ideas start to gradually become dangerous and bold. On this side, Yuan Farren and Wang Doi were also tired. It was replaced by 2 people who were eager to try. Although I don't know what the situation of the shield is, no matter how I look at it, it seems that the 2 of them released water. The shield of the first activation method shatters when touched. How can the shield of the second activation method be so outrageous? I do not believe. And the shield has been on for a long time. This time, I heard that the ion energy shield is stimulated by what energy? After such a long time, the energy must be running out. The 2 played excitedly. Maintaining the reputation of the lightsaber starts with the 2 of us. 5 minutes later, looking at the still strong shield, the hearts of the 2 at this time. What is it? You are hanging up. Chapter 128. Are we wearing protective clothing? It's not that I'm not convinced, but the current situation is not a bit too outrageous. The mentality of the 2 team members is a bit autistic. You are just a shield, but we have a lightsaber in our hands. Can you think about the feeling of the lightsaber in our hands? Obviously it is also a shield. The difference is, the activation method is different. The final result is like, Sandwood products are the same as those made by Longo. On the other hand, Tang Heibo sorted out all the data and handed it over to Xu Teng. Holding the data in his hand, Xu Teng thought seriously. From the current situation, it is the same as the second activation method in the laboratory. It can indeed convert the blow received by the shield into energy absorption, and immediately use it on the shield. From this aspect, the efficiency of energy conversion is relatively high. The efficiency of energy conversion has always been a problem faced by all walks of life. To put it simply, if the efficiency of energy conversion can be doubled, the frontier of mankind can at least double. Would you like to analyze the golden blueprint? This idea popped into Xu Teng's mind instantly because, judging from the situation on the spot, the energy of the shield is currently charged, and the instrument that detects the data shows that the energy has been increasing. This conversion efficiency is too bug. If this energy conversion can be applied to other machines, there will definitely be unexpected effects. As soon as the idea came together, it was denied again. Oh, no. The shield can have this energy conversion efficiency entirely because of the magic modified tokamak device and the magic modified dual core guide. From the side note, it is the power of the golden drawings. These 2 golden blueprints are distributed when the black technology system detects the progress of the project. To a certain extent, they can only be used on the ion energy shield. Oh, what a pity. Xu Teng sighed at this moment. Tang Heibo, who was next to him, was full of question marks. What's going on? Sure enough, the better a person is, the more demanding they are from themselves. Xu Teng, who put down the experimental data, raised his head and said to the crowd outside, after 3 minutes, start the third activation test. Good, the crowd responded. Through the data just now, it has been possible to prove that the lab's conjectures are correct. The shield of the second activation method absorbs energy, and the more you hit me, the stronger I am. The third method will naturally be the same as the laboratory situation. When I accumulate energy, I can bounce back damage. Compared to the second activation method, this is the biggest killer of the ion energy shield. In unexpected situations, it can bring unexpected damage to the enemy. It's just not clear whether this kind of rebound damage is limited by distance, because that time in the laboratory, Tang Jr. brother was face-to-face and shield output. Moreover, the laboratory under those conditions is not equipped to provide other test methods and many more. Something seems wrong. Xu Teng remembered something, and immediately checked the drawings from Black Technology in his mind. Ion energy shield summary. The charged particle field covering the surface of the object can deflect the impact of the attack on the surface of the object, from real projectiles to directional energy flow. After reading it all carefully, Xu Teng finally realized something was wrong. First, the current shields do not yet introduce surface charged particle fields, but even if not, the shield can still resist the attack of the lightsaber, and can also transform the energy of the lightsaber, and even rebound damage. Second, that is, the drawings originally provided by Black Technology are not like this at all to have the current effect, and to be able to make the shield like this, is completely an accident. In other words, if it weren't for the golden blueprint, the ionic energy shield wouldn't have this effect. But this is not what the Black Technology system provided at the beginning. So, Xu Teng's eyes lit up, and he found his blind spot. The drawings provided by the system are all the most basic. This is without the bonus of golden drawings. If you pass the judgment of the Black Technology system in the project and get a golden blueprint, the resulting product far exceeds the original effect of the Black Technology system. Then in the process of the experiment, you can also get various badges to strengthen yourself if that's the case. Is this an assist system, the kind where the assist person becomes stronger? Vaguely, Xu Teng felt as if he had discovered a black the nature of technological systems. If it goes on like this, can it even change the course of a civilization? At the moment when the idea appeared, Xu Teng was startled, and then he realized that the idea was right. So, if in this virtual circle, I can really change the course of a civilization, at this moment, a seed was planted in Xu Teng's heart. If it wasn't that he suddenly thought of the golden blueprint and the schematic diagram of the ion energy shield, and this little mystery could not be deduced from it. Brother, Xu Teng raised his head and met Tang Heibo's expectant look. It's time to start a new round of testing. Okay, I get it now. Just when Xu Teng was about to speak, he suddenly turned his head and asked, by the way, are you looking forward to something with this look? Tang Heibo was taken aback. Hey, is it so obvious? No, that's pretty obvious, okay? Xu Teng nodded. Oh, okay. I just thought of the third way to activate the shield in the laboratory before. Last night, I was hurt by the shield. You said that if I hit it with my fist, the shield could knock me to the ground. If it were them, Tang Heibo said, that's a lightsaber, senior, wouldn't you expect it? It does make sense. Hearing what Tang Heibo said, Xu Teng was also interested in many more. Yep, it's a lightsaber. Just when the four lightsabers turned their heads to look over, Xu Teng said solemnly, the third round of shield testing will now begin, but before that, the four of you must wear protective clothing, protective suit. The four of them froze for a moment, then turned to look at each other. The same doubts appeared in their eyes. Why wear protective clothing? Isn't this a test of shield strength? To be honest, although our lightsaber cannot break through the strength of the shield, but wear a protective suit to protect us. Don't you look down on the lightsaber in our hands too much? This is a lightsaber. Li Yonghao, who was standing next to him, was also stunned when he heard Xu Teng say this. Xiao Su, did I hear it wrong? You said to put on protective clothing for them. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 129. You are not really showing your talent, are you? Well, Uncle Lee needs to put on protective clothing for them. Because the next experiment may be dangerous, it's to protect them. As the top commander of the lightsaber base, Li Yonghao naturally knew how powerful the lightsaber was as a weapon. Now Xu Teng is talking about having the lightsaber squad of 4 put on hazmat suits to test. Wait, the maker of the lightsaber is Xu Teng. Even if you are aware that there is Xu Teng as the maker, it is clear thinking of this. Li Yonghao waved his hand and instructed the staff, just do it according to Xiao Su's requirements. Take the largest protective suit. And it's the one on the whole body, the face. All kinds of parts are needed, yes, although the lightsaber team of 4 was a little puzzled still following the order. It is the duty of soldiers to obey orders, not to mention that such orders protect them. Senior brother, shall I start? Tang Heibo looked forward with anticipation that the shield generated by the third activation method could reflect damage and the test object is still a high-tech lightsaber. How can you not be curious? Xu Teng nodded when Tang Heibo pressed the button. Bang bang bang, the air in front exploded one after another, and the shield was formed instantly. Last time, only a part of it was different from gold. This time, the entire shield is shiny gold. This shield, it's all golden. This color, is more gold than gold. It's so handsome. I really want to have it. If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes, I wouldn't have believed that this kind of shield was made by Xu Teng. There is another key point. In the first test, there was no gold, and the shield broke immediately. In the second test, half of it was golden, but the lightsaber could not be broken. In the third test, it was all golden. Someone followed this sentence, and Xu Teng also asked them to wear protective clothing, saying it was to protect their safety. So, something unexpected must have happened. The second experiment with the lightsaber has already fallen into disadvantage, so this time, wouldn't it be sure to lose? The 4-member lightsaber squad wearing protective clothing was also frowning at this time because they also figured out one thing. The creator of the lightsaber is Xu Teng, and the creator of the ionic energy shield is also Xu Teng. Presence of all the people, no one knows these two equipment better than him. Oh, by the way, the 4 of you go together this time. During the test, if you accidentally get a counterattack, don't panic. That's a normal experimental situation. After all, this is a test experiment, not on the battlefield. Xu Teng kindly reminded the 4 that if they were accidentally injured, it would be a big loss to the entire base. Okay, the 4 responded, and their faces became solemn. Fight back. Normal test situation. A shield experiment isn't the main test strength experiment. Why would there be a backlash? Is it? The lightsaber 4-man squad has some numbers in mind. It seems that compared to the lightsaber in the hand, there are other things in the ion energy shield that are not on display. The experiment just now made them feel strange. Why the energy of the shield can be maintained all the time, just like absorbing the energy of the lightsaber. Captain, what should we do? The other 3 turned to look at Yuan Fair, and the latter pondered for a while and said, same as last time. A team of 2 will strike from different parts of the shield, this time using the lowest oscillation frequency first. If there is no other situation within 2 minutes, then increase the oscillation frequency. Okay, the lightsabers in the hands of the 4 have 2 oscillation frequencies, one is the lowest and the other is the highest. This is also after Xu Teng completed the project of the blaster gun, and once sent out the plan of transforming the lightsaber through Yunshen, and later produced lightsabers have in general. It is sufficient to use the lowest oscillation frequency. However, he suffered a loss in the second experiment. Now that the shield experiment has reached the most critical moment, Yuan Farin also decided to adjust the frequency to the highest when the 2 face each other. Who is stronger? Then, the 4 of them formed groups of 2, looked at each other, took a deep breath, and pulled out the lightsaber from their waists. Buzzing, the 4 lightsabers are activated at the same time, with different colors, which are really eye-catching on the scene if you ignore the golden shields, and the protective suits on them. Unlike last time, the lightsaber foursome is no longer doing the most basic slashing action. Use the tactics they are practicing, and treat the shield as the real enemy. Stab forward, stab up, protrodego in, swerve, a series of capable actions. Stun Tang Heibo, I'll go. The combination of these 4 is too awesome. They don't need to communicate at all, and they can send messages with their eyes. Li Yonghao, who was next to him, also showed a relieved expression on his face. The 4 of them were selected from tens of thousands of special personnel. These 4 people can be said to represent the subversive individual combat level of the Dragon Kingdom at this stage. At the same time, the tactics are also developed by themselves. In this rainforest, they have not practiced less. It's the pinnacle level. Compared with those actions on TV, Tang Heibo felt that the screenwriter's imagination was somewhat limited. The faces of the surrounding staff also showed proud expressions, because when the entire base was built, the original goal was, the lightsaber for the general outline of the base has been clearly stated, to move towards the world's top individual soldier level and build the strongest individual soldier unit. The 4 of them will become the beheading force that will make the enemy fearful in the future. I've already heard that their tactics are about to succeed. Looking now, my former imagination was somewhat limited, really, but at this moment, a discordant voice appeared. Let me say something, handsome is handsome, but haven't you found that the shield is not broken at all? Crowd, then take a closer look. Indeed, handsome, but no matter how hard these 4 lightsabers hit, they couldn't break the shield. Boom. At this moment, a figure flew out. Take a closer look. It is the youngest Wang Doi. What happened? Why did the tester still fly upside down? What kind of acrobatics is this performing? No, how could it be possible to perform talent on the spot? Scientific research is a serious matter, and in front of so many people, more or less the society died. Wang Doi was also stunned. Didn't I just test the strength of the shield? Oh, by the way, at that moment, I felt a force rebounding. I haven't sorted my mind out yet. Bang bang bang. 3 figures flew out in a row. Crowd, why did it all fly out? You don't really show talent. Chapter 130. 1-on-3. The atmosphere at the scene fell into a strange silence for a while, especially Li Yonghao, as the head of the lightsaber base. He was still blowing a lot just now, and he was proud of the performance of the 4 result. It only took a few seconds for him to slap his face. The other staff members also looked at each other. I have to say that the tactical movements of the lightsaber quartet are very handsome, and the cooperation intensity is very high, and they can understand each other's intentions with just one look. But the final fall is ugly. Unexpectedly, the lightsaber team can't even break the shield of the ion energy shield. Stop, don't laugh, don't laugh. Tang Heibo deliberately kept his face straight, pretending that he didn't see the lightsaber team compared with the miserable situation he had in the laboratory yesterday. The 4 people in front of him were more or less miserable. If it weren't for the lightsaber team's home base, Tang Heibo would have laughed out loud. And Xu Teng's focus is not here. Turning over the experimental data from the energy value instrument, the 3rd activation method is indeed more energy efficient. The previous data growth was in units of 10, but just now it was in units of 50. The energy has even begun to feed back to the magic device, and the point where the energy suddenly tilts at the back, it means that the accumulated energy is counteract. He raised his head and glanced at the 4 people who were sitting in a daze not far away. Well, it was the moment they flew out. It was shorter than I thought, and the strength was stronger. In this way, the bigger the blow, the stronger the resistance. From an experimental point of view, the corresponding experimental data are available, and it does prove the safety of the ion energy shield. At least if the energy value is not consumed, the shield will never be broken. Would you like to start the next round of new experiments? After all, up to now, all experiments have been fixed on the instrument, and the experiment of wearing it by real people has not been started. On the other hand, the lightsaber quartet finally accepted reality. This horse riding is really shocking. We have worked hard for more than 2 months of tactics, and we have reached the final stage. Obviously they have such a tacit understanding, and even when they look at each other, they can know what to do next. Result, can't even break the shield. What the hell? Is it the lightsaber TK in our hands, or is the newly developed ion energy shield by Xu Teng too strong? Captain, do we want to test again? The 3 looked at each other and knew what Tang Yuan meant. The oscillation frequency of the lightsaber just turned on is the lowest. If it is turned on at the highest, will there be a possibility of breaking through the shield? Look again. After all, Xu Teng hasn't spoken yet. Everyone knows that Xu Teng is the youngest, but actually, even the person in charge of the base, Li Yonghao, mainly listens to his opinions. Just when everyone looked over, Xu Teng decided ionic energy shields are proven safe, so a new round of experiments can already begin. The experiment goes to the next round of testing. Xu Teng set his eyes on the lightsaber team of 4 and said, the next experiment is to choose one of you to wear the watch on your hand and activate the ion energy shield, and the other 3 adjusted the oscillation frequency of the lightsaber to the highest gear, and the 3 besieged one person at the same time. The shield itself was created for the individual soldier. If you want to talk about the effect, it must be the best effect worn by the lightsaber team at the beginning. Xu Teng also had this idea of assigning the ion energy shield to them in the future. What? Can you put that watch on, and still one of us? Although, the process of the experiment is that one person is beaten by 3 people, but that is only a superficial phenomenon. From the final result, one person must have beaten 3 people violently even. As long as you activate the full golden shield, you don't need to shit yourself to achieve such an effect. The 4 of them swallowed unconsciously. Everyone is an adult. And there is no need to choose anything. A lightsaber, an ionic energy shield, I want them all. Besides, Xu Teng did not designate anyone. This means, after internal communication, they can become the first person to wear the ion energy shield. Since Xu Teng, the time to test the unity of the team has come, and we will never be pinched because of a small watch. Wang Dou is the first to speak. I think the Dragon Kingdom has been humble since ancient times. Let practice. Among the 4, I am the youngest. It is right for the big brothers to let the younger brother once. The other 3 were stunned relatively strongly. Liu Born said, among the 4, you usually don't talk much, so what are you doing now? Wang Dou silently made a gesture of pushing his glasses. Just this time today, I think I can speak first. Because, before the words were finished, the 3 of them collectively interrupted the casting. No, you can't, Captain. Wang Dou actually said that he is the youngest, and there will be more time in the future, so I think we should ignore him first. I agree. At this moment, Yuan Farron turned to look at Wang Dou, spread his hands and said, look, everyone thinks this way, it's hard for me not to accept it. Wang Dou intends to rescue himself again, but these are their opinions, and I want to hear the captain's opinions. Do you really want to listen? Real. This sentence is the most persistent sentence Wang Dou has ever said. I agree, Wang Dou. Haha. Tang Yuan started ruthless ridicule. So, Captain, I think so. Before Liu Boren could finish speaking, Yuan Farron interrupted the casting. So, it should be me the first time. Tang Yuan, Liu Boren. Facing the puzzled eyes of the 3, Yuan Farron said confidently, I'm the captain, so this time you have to listen to me. Moreover, the testing of new types of weapons has always had unstable factors in it, and I'm in danger. You are simply shameless. The 3 were madly complaining in their hearts immediately afterwards. The 3 of them looked at each other and understood the meaning from each other's eyes. Since that's the case, the captain shouldn't blame our men for being ruthless. Yes, the lightsaber just turned on is not the highest level of oscillation frequency. Whether the shield can resist it, I don't know yet. Open it. Hunt time. The 3 nodded silently. The lightsaber 4-person team capsized in an instant. At this time, Tang Hable handed the ion energy shield to Yuan Farron, and carefully told him how to activate the 3rd gear. A minute later, Yuan Farron nodded to Xu Teng. 1 on 3, heads up mode is officially opened. Chapter 131. Start the firearms shooting test. Although, the 3 team members really wanted to grab the captain and beat him up, the superficial effort still needs to be done. Captain, we are welcome, bring it on. The 3 looked at each other and activated the lightsaber, tacitly buzzing. The oscillating sound is much louder than before. The experimental procedure arranged by Xu Teng is as follows. This time, the lightsaber team consists of 4 people, and they can play at will. There is only one requirement, that is, Yuan Farron is only allowed to activate the ion energy shield. In other words, just let him be beaten in the eyes of others. Yuan Farron must be defeated in the end of this experiment. 3 lightsabers with a maximum oscillation frequency strike with all their strength at the same time. It doesn't take a minute for the shield's energy to break, but in Xu Teng's eyes, the situation is reversed. It would be nice if the other 3 could hold on for a minute. As the 3rd wave of the ion energy shield was activated, the air in front exploded with a bang. The golden shield appeared again from the outside. Everyone looks golden, and Yuan Farron looked from the inside out. It was transparent. The shield activation distance is 1 meter in front of you. Even if the energy ruptures and the shield disappears, Yuan Farron's safety can be guaranteed. But, will the shield break? Absolutely impossible, because they have been cooperating with new tactics for more than 2 months. They have a deep understanding of each other. Of the 4 people, Wang Dou belongs to the agile category. Yuan Farron is a strength type, and the other 2 have their own characteristics. The 3 looked at each other and attacked first. Pen Fun Library. Wang Dou rushed over from the side, with a very fast speed, and when he approached the front, he suddenly jumped up. The lightsaber in the left hand was switched to the right hand, and it slashed fiercely at the shield in front of him. Yuan Farron's heart was also stunned. He stretched out his left hand wearing a watch and took the initiative to hit the shield in the HUD. Boom! The lightsaber and shield collided, making a dull sound. Golden sky blue meet. Tang Yuan and Liu Boren arrived at the same time. The former lifted the lightsaber from the bottom left to the top and hit the shield hard. The latter held the lightsaber in both hands and stabbed it into the surface of the golden shield. Boom! Boom! 2 dull voices sounded almost at the same time. Ripples began to appear on the surface of the golden shield. Like the waves are constantly spreading. The bystander Li Yonghao's eyes widened. Can he really block it? This is the highest oscillation frequency of a lightsaber. When the factory brought the lightsaber over, he did an experiment himself using the armor of the aircraft carrier as the test object. The oscillation frequency of the lightsaber was adjusted to the highest. As a result, the tested material was easily scratched, glide smoothly like water droplets across the skin. But now, the three of them are going together. The one with the highest oscillation frequency no way blocked it so easily. No. Ripples like ripples appeared on the surface of the shield. This is a key question never seen before in the test at this time. Tang Heibo also secretly swallowed his saliva and looked nervous. Isn't it really impossible to resist? Then he glanced at Xu Teng secretly. Well, senior brother is very calm. That means there is nothing wrong with the experiment, and other staff around. Fuck, this shield really has something. The lightsaber has already activated the maximum oscillation frequency. Yes, that time I also saw that the chief used the armor material of the aircraft carrier as the test object. Let me say something. Didn't you find that Wang Doi's ability to stay in the air is a bit strong? This focus is a bit odd. Isn't this lingering time 3 seconds? Also, didn't you see that he was falling? Some people just thought of this. The situation on the scene suddenly changed. The ripples like water waves began to reverse. Originally extending from the central core part, at the moment it is flowing from the outer part to the core part. It's just like the energy of the lightsaber itself began to be absorbed by the shield. Sky blue and other colors are starting to blend in with gold. What is this? Li Yonghao couldn't help exclaiming anymore. Tang Heibo suddenly turned his head to look at Xu Teng, only to see the latter staring at the instrument that detects the energy value. From this moment on, the value of the instrument that detects the energy value skyrockets. When the red warning line is exceeded, the energy value will be vented again in an instant. Xu Teng raised his head. Suddenly a golden light filled everyone's sight. Boom! The lightsaber trio flew backwards. Different from last time. This time, the speed of the three people is even faster. Thump! 3 thin lines appeared on the ground. Yuan Firen, Cyrillic letter Des, WLI Yonghao, degree. Other researchers. Then everyone reacted and ran towards the 3 people who flew upside down. Yuan Firen was the fastest, rushed in front of Wang Dou, and asked in an anxious tone, "How are you? Are you okay?" As he said that, he kept stroking with his hands see if there are any bleeding wounds on Wang Dou's body or something is missing. At this time, Wang Dou's eyes also sobered up from his confusion. "Captain. I'm fine. Is it alright?" "Real." Looking up, I saw that the other 2 team members also got up from the ground and made an okay gesture towards Yuan Firen, indicating that there was no problem. Pen Fun Library Ziosu. This, Li Yonghao was so shocked that he lost the ability to organize words for a while. Can only keep saying, this, oh, if Uncle Li wants to ask them about being knocked into the air, it's in my calculations. The shield will definitely absorb energy from the lightsaber and bounce it back. If Uncle Li wants to ask them if they are injured, then I can accurately say, they are not. I have tested those protective suits before letting them wear them, enough to withstand the impact of energy. Is it okay to ride a horse? Tang Heibo was stunned. Didn't senior brother just read the previous experimental data? Why can everything be rotten by him? In my eyes, those data are just good looking, very good. At this time, everyone who had sorted out their emotions gradually realized something. The ion energy shield is too heaven-defying. In the last second, the energy of the lightsaber was absorbed, and finally returned to a few other people. If the lightsaber can also be resisted, then it can also resist all kinds of ammunition. Then assign individual soldiers, open the shield on the battlefield, and rush forward against it. Energy absorption and rebound. Is this the real version of Wuxuang? Just when everyone turned to look at Xu Teng with anticipation, he spoke slowly. Half an hour later. Start the firearms test. Chapter 132. If there is trust, it must be read. Firearms test. When everyone heard this sentence, they were stunned for a moment, followed by Yixi. The ion energy shield can even block things like lightsabers. Isn't the firearm simple? Yuan Firen took off his watch reluctantly and handed it to Tang Heibo, who came to pick it up. Actually, I'm just curious. If I pass the firearm test, who will the ion energy shield be given first? Tang Heibo was taken aback. Why do you ask this? Oh, it's just pure curiosity. By the way, I didn't ask, it was Wang Dou who wanted to ask. Wang Dou standing next to him. Captain, actually you, to shut up. Oh well. Looking at Yuan Firen's expectant eyes, Tang Heibo smiled and said, I heard senior brother talk about this. As soon as the words fell, the other 3 people with lightsabers turned their heads inadvertently. pretending that we didn't care very much. It's just that the sound of breathing gradually became heavier. Brother, he said that this shield technology is for individual soldiers. Oh soldier, that's not about our team. The lightsaber team of 4, the tense body gradually relaxed. The next second, I heard another unpleasant word. Senior brother didn't say clearly. Is it the allocation of blaster guns? Or, the following words were muttered by Tang Hebo as he walked. That's right, there's also the blaster gun thing. The 4 suddenly woke up. In addition to the ionic energy shield that is currently being done, Xu Teng has only developed 2 in total. One is lightsabers, another one blaster guns. From the point of view of the combination with the shield, both are possible to elaborate. The blaster is a perfect match after all. On the battlefield, being beaten all the time is not the way to solve the war. The output is the most important solution. The lightsaber mainly relies on face-to-face output. A long-range output of the blaster gun is king, and, from a time point of view, the blaster gun is a project developed after the lightsaber. Better than a lightsaber. The 4-member team looked at each other, each with a hint of worry in their eyes. If you haven't experienced the goodness of the ion energy shield, you will naturally not understand its advantages, but now, everyone has seen it. The boats of friendship all sailed. The moment before Hajime collapsed a little, and even the captain commanded confidently, no, the 4 of us should find a way to lick Ziosu. Yes, the ion energy shield, the 4 of us must use it. They exchanged glances, and the 4 all understood each other's thoughts. As long as it doesn't say who the ion energy shield is for, everyone is still a good brother. The other side. Xu Teng is looking at the experimental data. There is no problem with the increase in energy value. There are no problems with the 3 activation methods of the shield. The magic modified dual-core guide, which originally seemed to be the most vulnerable place, also passed the test. Even hitting the surrounding area with the lightsaber, or the center, will not affect the shield. Even from the field test it was unexpectedly found. The shield absorbs energy and bounces back damage, and the conversion time is better than everything in theory. All the tests are showing, the ionic energy shield is okay, no problem at all. But there's only one thing, the charged particles don't coat the shield's surface. Not even the shield itself produces charged particles. Isn't this core technology important? As soon as this idea popped into my mind, it was rejected. No, not right. The technical description that can be summarized by the black technology system cannot be unimportant. Experiments in previous projects have confirmed this. The key to having the current effect lies in the modification of the golden blueprint. Without them, the shields would not necessarily be able to withstand the attacks of the lightsaber. Xu Teng began to push back in his mind, testing what he didn't do. All kinds of data have been tested. There is no problem with the device, and the actual combat has also been tested. Only, at this moment, an idea suddenly appeared in Xu Teng's mind. He began to understand what the crux of the technology was. Tang Hebo and Li Yonghao, who were standing aside, looked at Xu Teng, who had been thinking, and kept sighing. The former is thinking, why is the senior brother always in a state of thinking? Isn't this some simple experimental data? No, perfect experimental data. Is this also a problem? This is no problem at all. Look at the last test, how strong the shield was, and the 3 lightsabers were directly rebounded and critically hit. The latter. He was thinking in my heart, it is the same as what the academician said. No matter how big the experimental results are, I still only yearn for scientific research in my heart. Ziosu, it's really unusual. Just when the 2 sighed, Xu Teng raised his head and said, Uncle Li, I want to change the next experimental process. Change it? Li Yonghao felt a little strange in his heart. This is not good. Why suddenly thought of changing the experimental process? According to the original experimental process, in the lightsaber team, one person wears the watch and activates the ion energy shield. On the other side, a man was shooting with a gun. Everyone felt that there would be no problem with this process because the performance of the ion energy shield has already conquered everyone. It is no exaggeration to say that it is a new generation of shield technology. If you ask me, will firearms break shields? I'll look at you with question marks all over your head. What are you thinking about? So Li Yonghao felt strange when Xu Teng wanted to adjust the experimental process. Uncle Li, I made some calculations just now and thought that the shield. Li Yonghao waved his hand to interrupt Xu Teng's explanation and said sincerely, Ziosu, don't explain it to me. If you say change, I will change it immediately. Everyone present, including me, absolutely believes in you, Tang Hebo. Xu Teng was taken aback when he heard this. Immediately after looking up and looking around, the lightsaber team of 4 and the testing staff slowly nodded their heads along with Xu Teng's gaze. The next second, everyone said in unison, we all absolutely believe in you. You have made us, and we will naturally trust you unreservedly. The voice was loud and pierced through the clouds. Xu Teng never doubted what everyone said because their eyes are firm and their tone is affirmative. If there is a miracle, it must be read. If there is trust, it must also be read. Okay, let's change the experimental process now. The watch is still fixed on the test bench as in the first test. It's just that the back part of the test bench is covered with a layer of materials for testing kinetic energy, and various kinetic energy testing instruments are also installed while the people around are far away from the experiment. And the whole process is controlled by the robot. The preparation for it all is like this. The moment the gun is tested and the shield hits, bad things will happen. Chapter 133 Simple version. When the equipment was all set up, Tang Heibo said, "Senior brother, half an hour has come. Well, let's get started." Compared with a previous test, the difference is, there is one more button. Activate the shield first, then activate the manipulator through another button, and let it operate the firearm to shoot bullets on the shield. In fact, many people think this way at this moment. After the ion energy shield is activated, it will definitely be able to block the bullets shot by the firearm. In fact, Tang Heibo, who was connected to press the button, thought so. The experimental process is, activate the shields activated in different ways 3 times, and then look at the experimental data. When Tang Heibo pressed the blue button, bang! The air in front exploded. A transparent shield slowly rose and looked back at the senior brother beside him, who nodded to continue. It's definitely fine. The red button was pressed by Tang Heibo. Bang! This is the sound of a Type 95 automatic rifle. Clap clap. This is, the people around were stunned when they heard the crisp voice. Looking up, I found that the material behind the test bench for detecting kinetic energy was partially recessed, so this is shield not blocking rifle bullets. How is this possible? The most surprising thing was the lightsaber 4-man squad. Captain, hit me now to see if I'm dreaming. As soon as he finished speaking, he heard a pop. Fuck. Captain, you are avenging your personal revenge. The person who grabbed the shield just now was not alone. No, it was you who said you wanted me to hit you, Liu Born said angrily. I'm talking about a body slap, not a face slap. Then I'll ask you, are you awake, Liu Born? Then he muttered, wake up. Tang Heibo, who is a tester, was also surprised and stammered, senior brother, is this an error in the experimental instrument? Although the shield of the first activation method cannot protect against lightsabers, it should not be difficult to protect against Type 95 automatic rifles. It's not just a rifle bullet. What threat can it have to the shield? And Xu Teng was very calm, as if he had expected the results of the experiment. He said calmly, start the next round of testing. The next round of testing is the half-gold shield. Okay, the semi-golden shield can block lightsabers and even absorb energy. The senior brother also said that the key point for the shield to convert energy is whether the shield surface is golden, so this time it will definitely work. After pressing the buttons one after another, everyone looked at the semi-golden shield and began to comfort themselves in their hearts. It's definitely possible this time. I just didn't activate the shield of this activation method just now. Isn't it just a 95 type automatic rifle? Can it be greater than the kinetic energy released by a lightsaber? What the lightsaber squad once tested was to strap activated lightsabers with current mainstream weapons. The end result, an activated lightsaber that blocks bullets. The lightsaber with the highest oscillation frequency turned on can even make the bullet bounce a part of the distance. A vertical comparison, compared with a lightsaber, the Type 95 automatic rifle is really nothing. Clap clap clap. Same crisp sound got hit again. The atmosphere at the scene suddenly became quiet, as if it needed a little time to digest the facts in front of him. Yuan Farron silently turned his head and glanced at Liu Born. The latter trembled a bit, and said quickly, Captain, I'm sober, I don't need you to hit me again. The other 2 teammates quietly opened the distance a little. As long as I don't speak, you can't take the chance. Just when Tang Heibo was stunned, Xu Teng's calm voice came over, go directly to the 3rd test. It is good. The 3rd activation method is to activate all the startup modules, and all the shields have turned golden less than an hour ago. The lightsaber captain Yuan Farron turned on the shield to withstand the attacks of the other 3 lightsabers at the maximum oscillation frequency in less than 10 seconds. The lightsaber trio were all blown away at the same time. All the protective suits on them were torn. Even if Tang Heibo relived the previous situation in his mind this time, I still had doubts. I didn't wake up, or this 95 type automatic rifle was modified by my brother. No, I watched the experimenter personally take it out of the arsenal. The same thought also appeared in Li Yonghao's mind. Leave the sub-energy shield can withstand the lightsaber, but it can't withstand the mere Type 95 automatic rifle. Is this reality too magical, or I haven't woken up? He wanted to ask Xu Teng several times, but saw the calm expression on the latter's face just as expected. As expected, Li Yonghao felt as if he had discovered some blind spot after a few seconds. Clap clap clap. The same unpretentious sound of bullets hitting the test material. Tang Heibo was completely dumbfounded. I press the button, I activate the shield, and I fire the gun. Woo woo woo. Did the shield get damaged by me? This is a lightsaber that can stop the activation. Why is a 95 type automatic rifle broken? It was not only Tang Heibo who was dumbfounded, but also everyone who was watching. Researcher, is the instrument wrong? Is the Type 95 automatic rifle fake? Lightsaber squad of 4, what's the matter? Lightsabers can't break through ion energy shields, but Type 95 automatic rifles can penetrate shields. When the two types are equal, so it proves that the lightsaber in my hand is not as good as the 95 type automatic rifle. Li Yonghao, should I comfort Xiao Su? After all, the atmosphere at the scene is a little heavy. Just when Tang Heibo was thinking wildly and was about to apologize, I heard Xu Teng's calm voice. Okay, the experiment ends here. Just as I guessed, scientific researcher, Cyrillic letter De, lightsaber squad of 4, Greek letter Sigma, degree, Li Yonghao, at, Tang Heibo Cyrillic letter De. Oh, it's not that we heard it wrong. Why, we heard the experiment is the same as Xu Teng guessed. Li Yonghao, who was in charge of the base, thought about a sentence in his heart, and then asked carefully, Xiao Su, I just heard you say that the experiment is the same as you guessed. Yes, in one respect, the experiment was a success. Was the experiment a success? Everyone was stunned why the shield was pierced by the 95 type automatic rifle. It is also called a successful experiment. Seeing the puzzled expressions on the faces of the people around him, Xu Teng explained, the shield can't prevent the fire of the firearm yet. Because the ion energy shield is still a simplified version. What? The ionic energy shield is a simplified version? Chapter 134. Are you the legendary perpetual motion machine? Everyone's heads are buzzing. They guessed a lot of reasons why the shield could not stop the Type 95 automatic rifle. When the third gear was activated, for example, is the instrument broken? Type 95 automatic rifle, did you hit the wrong direction, and just happen to hit the bullet into the kinetic energy test material? There are even more outrageous ideas. Could it be that the activation method is wrong? Wearing activation on the wrist can increase the success rate of the shield. The only thing I didn't expect is that the ion energy shield is a simplified version. Xiao Su, what you said is true. Li Yonghao, whose eyes widened, asked suspiciously. Xu Teng nodded. In fact, during the half-hour of preparation work, Xu Teng has been pushing back the schematic diagram and the experimental process. The black technology system will not ignore such an important technology, since the generalization of the technology pointed out on the schematic diagram is, the charged particles covering the surface can be deflected to attack. That is the most critical technology. Even if the golden blueprint is opened, it cannot be changed, and today's shields have been able to block the lightsaber, which is different from firearms. If you push it back, even the shield of the third activation method still cannot block the firearm attack. The final test also confirmed this. The shield is less covered with charged particles, and after all, the soul is missing. This is the simplified version. The surrounding researchers expressed their incomprehension. I have been doing scientific research for more than 10 years and decades, and I have never seen such an outrageous thing. This is all a simplified version, and the experimental results are all guessed. Our scientific research experiments so well done, until the end. How can you guess the experimental results? Aren't the experimental results all the same as Schrödinger's cat? A researcher wearing glasses considered the words. Xiao Su, you just said that this ion energy shield is a simplified version. I would like to ask you what the full version looks like. Yes, what does the full version look like? Everyone's attention was drawn. Well, it's easy to say. Xu Teng pondered for a while, then pulled a piece of white paper from the side and arched it into the shape of a shield. The current shield is mainly to use magic reform. The dual core guide is generated by dividing the magnetic field into two different properties. The activation of the lightsaber also has the participation of the magnetic field in essence, so when the two magnetic fields collide, there is a certain amount of interference. The magnetic field of the ion energy shield is generated by a magic modification device. Compared with the lightsaber, it is stronger. This is also doomed. The lightsaber will definitely fail under the third activation method of the ion energy shield. The lightsaber four-man squad listening around was complicated, so from the beginning, we were doomed, right? Hey, it turns out that our ending was planned long ago. Xu Teng changed his words. The reason why he is said to be a simplified version is because there is one less technology, the coverage of charged particles. Some small dots were drawn on the white paper to represent them as charged particles. When these charged particles move according to a certain pattern on the surface of the shield, it becomes a certain form of defense. The bullet fired by the firearm will have kinetic energy, and when it hits the stream of charged particles on the surface of the shield, a deflector will occur. The heads of the researchers around are buzzing. All the words can be understood, and the general principle is also known, but if you want me to do it, I'll have no choice but to abba. Trying to get away with it, and a most crucial point is not here. Rather, why can Xu think of this? This is a crucial question. If it's a flash of creativity, everyone can understand it. After all, researchers are still young, and inspiration comes occasionally, but the lightsaber and the blaster are all made by you, especially the current ion energy shield people. Can there really be so many inspirations in these short 2 or 3 months? Are you the legendary perpetual motion machine? The atmosphere became quiet for a while. This time I was shocked by Xu Teng's too hardcore advanced knowledge until, cuckoo, this series of voices rang out. The people around turned their heads instantly, and Teng Heibo blushed and said, "I'm sorry, I'm hungry." Just when you don't know what to say, Li Yonghao patted Teng Heibo on the shoulder. Haha, what's wrong with that? Researchers are also human, so naturally they have to eat. Let's go, everyone in the cooking class is waiting. I heard that they prepared some good dishes today. Real? Teng Heibo's eyes lit up. Real? When Teng Heibo turned his head to look at Xu Teng, the latter smiled. Let's go eat first. Let's see what good dishes are available today. At this time in the cafeteria of the Bishe, a group of people were whispering. I heard that the strength of the shield is tested with a lightsaber today. Are you saying that the lightsaber is stronger or the shield is stronger? If you want me to say, it must be the lightsaber. After all, it is the shield in the testing stage. Have you forgotten? The lightsaber can cut through the armor of the aircraft carrier. Makes sense. Before he could finish speaking, he was interrupted by another sentence. What makes sense? Don't you know what happened on the test site today? What's the matter? When the other 3 heard this, they immediately turned around and asked. The latter had a smug expression. I don't know. I'll tell you. There are 3 ways to shield. When he said that the shield became golden, the people at the same table exclaimed. In the second test method, the lightsaber could not be broken, and everyone exclaimed. In the third test method, the energy of the lightsaber was rebounded, and everyone exclaimed. Especially in the end, the 4-member lightsaber team turned their faces on the spot for shielding. Can't believe it. Of course, the most outrageous thing is not here. Isn't that the most outrageous? Come on. Don't like hanging people so much? If you are so skilled, why don't you write novels? The man glared at the man angrily and said, the most outrageous thing is, Xu Teng personally proved that the ion energy shield is still simple. Otherwise, the shield will not be able to withstand the bullets of the 95 automatic rifle. I see. Only then did a few people wake up. Why such a strong shield can resist the lightsaber, but can't resist the 95 type automatic rifle? It almost made me feel less confident at this moment. Someone said, Xu Teng is here. Everyone turned their heads and saw Xu Teng walking in with Li Yonghao the moment they entered the cafeteria. Everyone stood in tacit agreement. For a time, there was thunderous applause. Chapter 135. This is also okay? What's going on? Why did everyone applaud? Teng Heibo, who was following behind, was a little confused until he saw the staff standing next to the table. Oh, it's them. All personnel in the entire base have very high authority, otherwise they would not be eligible to enter the base with the lightsaber team as the core. Therefore, Li Yonghao did not give an order not to let the staff involved in the experiment reveal the details of the shield experiment. Pen Fun Library. The staff who wanted to come to the cafeteria to eat first have already shared all today's experiences. If it were me, I would sincerely applaud and bless my brother when I see him at this moment. Unlike Teng Heibo's surprise, Xu Teng's mood was much calmer at the moment. Facing the wave of applause, he stood at attention and slowly saluted. Thank you, Xu. What are you talking about? We're more or less the same as thanking you. That is, if I hadn't heard others say, I still don't know we can have such a strong shield technology. Xu, come on. You can definitely accomplish your goal. Li Yonghao, who was beside him, watched quietly, sighing in his heart. I have seen many people in my life, but Xu is the only one who is only addicted to scientific research. With such a person, who can provoke the backbone of the new scientific research era, the future of the Dragon Kingdom will be assured. Along the way, people around gave way. The uncle in charge was full of smiles. Xu, what do you want to eat today? Order at will. There are many varieties of dishes. The lightsaber squad is highly valued by the upper echelons. and the benefits are obvious. The ingredients here are refined and fresh, then a spicy crayfish, spicy chicken, and a broccoli. Good. Holding a pot full of vegetables, Xu Teng fell into contemplation. The weight is a bit too much, but it looks really good. More than 20 brightly colored crayfish were placed together, each sprinkled with white sesame seeds and chopped green onion. The rich aroma rushed to the face. Picked up one, and the red oil kept dripping down. Put it in your mouth, bite it gently, and the rich soup pours out. This taste. Tongue felt numb and tired in an instant. Pinched his head, peeled back the shell, and the white tender meat was covered with soup. Delicious, and spicy chicken. Also add enough red oil chili to wrap the chicken. Hiss. Xu Teng gasped. Shit, it's so hot. It seems that the spiciness has been deeply ingested. The weight that was originally thought to be too much gradually decreased at the speed of the naked eye. I have to say that if the taste of the food is too good, people will always gain a lot of weight unconsciously. There were whispering discussions from other places. Haha, you see that Xiao Su is also eating a lot, and I also eat a lot. What does this mean? Before he finished speaking, he was robbed. This shows that other people are really hungry, and you are really hungry. Gan, that's not what I meant to say at all. Forget it. Get angry. After a while of silence, the topic turned to the ion energy shield. The lightsaber was originally the base's biggest secret, because the carrier's armor could easily be cut open in their cognition. There is nothing that a lightsaber can't cut. If there is, then two lightsabers go together. But now a simplified version of the shield would be able to stand still and defeat the lightsaber. Really, beyond the current understanding. Do you think, Xiao Su? How long does it take to make the full version of the shield? As for why no one asked, the reason why Xiao Su might not be able to create a complete shield is judging from existing projects. The process of experimentation may fail, but you can always trust Xu Teng for scientific research. It is very common to have a process of failure. No, it's not normal. If it's possible for other people in half a lifetime, but if the chief engineer is Xu Teng, I think it will be about 2 or 3 months. 2 or 3 months is really not a long time for this kind of cross-generational scientific research technology. Even that is too short, but everyone at the scene felt that this time was normal. 2 or 3 months. I don't think it's bold enough. Let's be a little bolder. A month. A month. Some people's eyes widened. It takes 10 months to give birth to a child. You are too bold. Everyone shut up and listen to me. Let me say one sentence. One sentence. Half a month. Hey, don't be so outrageous. On the other hand, when Xu Teng finished all the meals in a large pot, his thoughts returned to the previous place. The blaster project, which was completed for more than 2 months at the time, was finally completed at the moment. In the judgment of the Black Technology System, it is over-completed. So there is a reward for the Red Star Energy Liquid. From the perspective of the Ion Energy Shield project, the level of technology is to exceed the blaster gun, and the potential time given by the system will also begin to grow. On this line of thinking, the minimum is probably 3 months of potential time. Now what? It hasn't arrived for a week since the day I got the Black Technology blueprint. Xu Teng has created an ion energy shield that far exceeds the level of the schematic diagram. Although it is the effect of badges and golden blueprints, the Black Technology System doesn't care about this. Explain. No matter how I create an ion energy shield, it will do, as long as the combined time is less than 3 months, then I can get another reward. To say that you don't care about the rewards of Black Technology is a lie. The effect of the Red Star brand energy liquid is really known to anyone who uses it. Then the question now is how to solve the problem of covering the magnetic field. Xu Teng calculated in his heart. The magic modified tokamak device cannot be modified anymore, because that is the core of energy input. It has been changed once before, and the dual-core guide that has been modified by magic has been inserted into it later. Those more than 100 bifurcations may be destroyed if they are made again. In this case, it is necessary to start on the original magnetic field. Xu Teng looked down at the watch he was wearing. Compared with ordinary watches, it only had a single hour hand. Ding. Badge. Fusion has been triggered. Trigger item. Ion energy shield. Trigger object. How to solve the problem of charged particles covering the surface of the shield. Analyzing. The magnetic field itself has charged particles. The question of how to make them flow on the surface of the shield can be extended to how to separate a part of the charged particles from the magnetic field. With a series of beeps, Xu Teng's eyes brightened. An idea that he hadn't thought of before was breaking into his mind. Huh? So full. Tang Heibo ate well and satisfied. I have to say that there is one advantage to being remembered by the cooking class. The portion is particularly sufficient. Looking up from his rice bowl, he saw that Xu Teng was entering a state of contemplation. Tang Heibo was stunned. What? Can a meal solve the problem? Does this work too? If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 136 Immersive Experimental Operation. It's not that Tang Heibo has any different thoughts on the contemplative senior brother, but, after each meditation, the senior brother can always solve the current problems even if it can't be solved completely. It can provide some ideas at this time, just as Tang Heibo thought, through the effect of emblem fusion. Xu Teng did have a new idea. If the charged particles are introduced from the outside, also consider how to make them flow over the magnetic field on the shield surface. But if you solve the problem by yourself, you don't need to consider this problem, dividing the direction of the current. When passing them through the magic modified dual core guide, they are divided into two directions. Because of the difference between the two directions, the charged particles flowing on the surface of the shield will follow certain rules. Exactly meets the requirements for an ionic energy shield. Yes, that's it. When doing research, having ideas is the most important thing. Pen fun library. A successful scientific research result. The most basic requirement is to have the right ideas. So, now it is to separate the things that have passed the magic modification of the dual core guide. Looking down at the watch, under the continuous effect of emblem convergence, Xu Teng further broadened his thinking. Watch, hour hand. The only thing missing now is a minute hand. The entire dial is the core of the ionic energy shield. As a whole, the magnetic field is oriented in one whole. The cutting of the minute hand can indeed achieve such an effect. So, everything is planned. I see. Xu Teng let out a slow breath. He didn't expect that. He just ate a warm meal from the cooking class in the cafeteria. It triggers the effect of emblem fusion and penetration solved the immediate problem seemingly. Now the effect of badge triggering is more and more frequent, and it has really changed from active activation to passive triggering. It has to be said that the effect of using the badge is really good. That is, it often causes people to enter a state of contemplation, which is a bit of a bad side effect. When Xu Teng woke up from his contemplative state, he just met Tang Heibo's shocked eyes. Why are you looking at me like that? Didn't you eat well just now? Why did you change your appearance all of a sudden? Looking at your stunned little eyes. I don't know why you thought I ate that pot of Chinese food. Senior brother, are you? Tang Heibo cautiously changed his words. Is there another way to solve the shield? Huh? You know the two. Hearing this, Xu Teng was stunned. Didn't I say a word? How did you guess? Fuck, do you really have an idea? I just guessed a little boldly, but you said to me, congratulations, you got it right. Not so exciting. Even more surprised than I saw that big pot of food last night. As soon as these words were uttered, Tang Heibo realized that something was wrong. In a different tone. Senior brother, that's not what I meant. What I mean is, I didn't expect my brother to be able to solve all these problems so quickly. In fact, when Tang Heibo was busy cooking, he also heard the discussions of some people around him. For example, what 2 or 3 months a month, or even the last half a month. During these times, Tang Heibo felt that their imaginations were really lacking. He also guessed in his heart, what do you think? How could senior brother be that kind of person? Listen to me. It will be resolved within a week at most. But when he finished his meal happily suddenly found, the outrageous senior brother is on the outrageous road, going further and further. Senior brother personally admitted, I now have an idea. I ride a horse. Let's go to the Milky Way for a meal. Looking down, the shell of the spicy crayfish beside me, I thought of the sizzling squid I ate. No, the food in the Milky Way doesn't seem to be this delicious either. Brother, then Tang Heibo asked carefully and expectantly, we're going to start a new experiment right now. Good. When the two got up and walked out, the person who was still talking about the period just now was dumbfounded. Did you hear that just now? Some people still have chopsticks in their hands. I heard. The other person responded vaguely with beef in his mouth. So, we discussed a problem that will take several months to solve, and Xiaosu can solve it after a meal. Seems like it. Several people slowly lowered their heads and looked at the spicy crayfish, spicy chicken, and broccoli in another bowl, trying to find a little inspiration and ideas from their stuck experimental projects. Damn, why are they all people? But everyone's scientific research path is so different. It doesn't look like a species. A laboratory somewhere on the base different from the site where the test was conducted in the morning. The laboratory here is filled with various materials. These are collected according to the list of materials submitted by Xu Teng before. The label of material classification was also carefully affixed on it, which made Xu Teng think of senior brother Yun, who is far away and walking for the first time only. The base of the lightsaber here and the laboratory of the last blaster project are both under the same level of secrecy. One thing has not changed, that is, Yun Cheng is still not entitled to know the location of this base. The function of the minute hand is similar to that of the magic modified dual core guide. It means the manufacturing process of the two is similar, and the materials are also the same. Coupled with the previous experience in manufacturing the magic modified dual core guide, it is not difficult to complete the required minute hand. Brother, can you really do it? Tang Heibo saw that Xu Teng was in a daze, hesitated for a moment, and asked carefully. Up to now, he still can't believe. Why eat a meal? There is a solution. A plate of spicy crayfish doesn't seem to provide any ideas, except to make him feel delicious. He just wants another plate. Well, little thing. Xu Teng looked up and answered confidently. Just now he was just thinking about the next manufacturing process. Whether there will be any mistakes every time he makes something new. Xu Teng habitually demonstrates the process in his mind to prevent unexpected situations. Next moment, blah blah blah, the sound of the cutting machine sounded in the laboratory, and Xu Teng skillfully operated various instruments. It was obviously the first contact, as if it had been familiar 10,000 times in my heart. Immersive experimental operation. This word suddenly appeared in Tang Heibo's mind. Isn't it? Is this also possible? Tang Heibo's eyes full of wisdom were full of great dub. Senior brother, the way of operating the cutting machine is also very handsome, and many more. It's not that idea. Leave now. Chapter 137. Remember it in number 039, SO weapons. Tang Heibo finally drove this strange thought out of his mind. Pen Fun Library. He turned his head and looked at his brother's actions seriously. Compared with the operation procedure in the laboratory last time, the speed at which the senior brother used the instrument has slowed down significantly. When this idea came up, the first thought was, senior brother, last time I hung up. No. How is that possible? This is not a literary work. There is nothing to talk about. It is estimated that this is the first time for the senior to make a product, and the craftsmanship is not proficient. Looking down, I saw my brother's hands flying between. Cough, cough, cough. If I think too much, how can senior brother be unskilled in craftsmanship? Only, judging from the current situation, I seem to be a little familiar with the things in senior brother's hands. As the shape began to take shape, Tang Heibo thought of the magic modified dual core guide. That's the thing. The only difference is, when the senior brother made this, the thing would not emit a golden light. Really, the last magic modified dual core guide was drawn from a golden blueprint, and this time the minute hand is only formed under the effect of the black technology system, badge, fusion. Essentially there are many differences, not to mention that the manufacturing effect of emblem, golden blueprint, was triggered during the last production process. The quality is not as strong as the golden drawings. Might as well, perfectly meets the requirements. Don't ask. Ask is Xu Zhen's craftsman Teng. Watching Xu Teng skillfully open the dial and put the minute hand in it at this moment, Tang Heibo couldn't bear it any longer. Senior brother, what is the effect of this minute hand you made? Bang, pop. After closing the cover of the core of the dial, Xu Teng turned his head and asked, I showed you the schematic diagram of the ion energy shield before. I would like to ask how the concept of the shield is written on the schematic diagram. Concept brother, if you ask me this I can still answer after searching the knowledge of the schematic diagram in memory. Tang Heibo replied, the ion energy shield is a shield that applies the charged particle field covering the surface of the object. It deflects the impact of attacks on surfaces, from real projectiles to directed energy flow. When Tang Heibo recited this at the moment, Xu Teng asked, then what kind of technology have we not done before? Which technology? Hearing this question, Tang Heibo fell into contemplation. According to the character of the senior brother, it must be the meaning of those few sentences. Deflected attack? No. Is there something to deflect the attack? Because of the flow of charged particles covering the surface. Tang Heibo remembered that Xu Teng had explained it to the researchers at the actual measurement site before. Only, at that time, I was really too shocked. Why can the 95 type automatic rifle penetrate the shield that the lightsaber can't penetrate? And did not hear there are usually two ways to make the shield covered with charged particles. One is to introduce new charged particles, and the other is to make its own magnetic field that way. Thinking along this line of thought, Tang Heibo figured it out. A minute hand made by my brother is to decompose a part of the current passing through the magic dual core guide. This creates a directional stream of charged particles on the surface of the shield. So, This time, the ion energy shield is made. The full version, brother. Then, isn't that us? Oh no, you have made the full version of the ion energy shield. Having figured this out, Tang Heibo, who was excited, started to stutter looking at the former's inquiring eyes. Xu Teng nodded and said calmly, in theory, it's true, fuck. Senior brother, you are really awesome. I stepped on the horse. I didn't expect it at all, and the problem was solved like this. Originally what Xu Teng said, I have an idea to solve the problem, but now, is this the way to solve the problem? This completely solves all the problems at once. When I came back to my senses, I thought, could it be that my brother's spicy crayfish is more fragrant than mine? Forget it. Stop guessing, it's definitely a question of IQ. Through this lunch, Tang Heibo decided to calm his mind. He excitedly said to Xu Teng, Senior brother, activate the shield and show me. You stand back. After all, it was just successful. In theory, the distance generated by the shield will not change, but, just in case, it's better to be cautious. The first activation method, pen fun library, boom, there in front exploded instantly, and unlike the last time, the shield this time was instant. The shield generated by the shield is also faster. Tang Heibo, who was standing in front, looked carefully and found that something was flowing in the stirred space. This is a stream of charged particles observed macroscopically. At this time, Xu Teng also watched the instrument recording real-time data, and the data was very stable. From the images detected by the instrument, it shows that the stream of charged particles is moving in a direction and at the same time in an orderly state. From the point of view of the characteristics of startup, there is no problem. Xu Teng raised his head and said to Tang Heibo, you can try to attack the surface of the shield. Any way will do. Good. Bang bang bang. It is also the best boxing skills on the other side. Xu Teng stared at the data on the instrument. The current on the shield hasn't changed. No, just jumped a bit, watching the current that suddenly rose by a few microamps, and then became a stable image. Xu Teng rubbed his chin. The change in the current shows that the attack of the younger brother is really painless. Looking up at the younger brother who was spreading his wings and dampened, Xu Teng suddenly felt a little hot. Stop. Tang Heibo, who had just stretched out his arm, heard this sentence, but he didn't coordinate his body in time, and fell to the ground with a thud. Senior brother, do you have anything to tell me? You? Before Xu Teng could say anything, Tang Heibo interrupted the spellcasting directly. I'm fine. Just this little injury is fine. Okay, go and tell Uncle Lee that the ion energy shield is ready, and we are going to conduct a new round of actual measurements. Good. Tang Heibo rolled with a carp. Very excited. Didn't someone in the cafeteria speculate that it would take 2 months for senior brother? Some people made a bold guess and said that it would take more than a month today. I will let you know what a terrifying person my brother is when it comes to scientific research, and many more. Xu Teng stopped Tang Heibo, who was about to run out. You tell Uncle Lee, let him take out all the hot weapons that can be used in the base. Remember, it is all. Chapter 138, The Days We Made Up in the World. What? You repeat what you just said? Li Yonghao is a little confused now. Taking a walk after dinner and digesting food is Li Yonghao's daily reserved festival. As a result, as soon as he turned a corner, he saw Tang Heibo rushing over, panting, facing this little fat man. His deepest impression was, this man uses a pot to dry his meals, and he is a real person. Being able to eat in the base is a good thing, which shows that he consumes a lot of physical energy. Just when Li Yonghao wanted to say a few words enthusiastically, Tang Heibo interrupted his forward swing, casting, Chief, our senior brother, apply for the actual test. Oh, the actual test. This is no problem. I didn't do the experiment this morning. Looking back at Tang Heibo, who was running out of breath, just when he was about to comfort him, the other party spoke again. Senior brother said, this time the actual test application uses all the hot weapons, all hot weapons. If someone else made this request, Li Yonghao's first thought would be, is this person joking with me? The second thought is, to write a review. You must write a review for me. The third thought would be, get out of here immediately. But, the person who brought it up was Xu Teng. Joke, non-existent. Write a review. Then I can't even think about it. Fuck off. No. If I dare to do something to kill you, that must be my shit. The lightsaber base is built around the development of tactics around the lightsaber, which means, there aren't as many hot weapons here compared with a base where the blaster gun was originally developed. There is not much armed force defense if you think about it seriously. There is one in the base: Type 95 automatic rifle, AK-47 rifle, Barrett 82 heavy sniper rifle, Gatling machine gun, anti-infantry mines, anti-tank mines, RPG rocket launchers, anti-aircraft guns, surface-to-air missiles, plus a few well, there are really not many hot weapons in the base. It should be enough. I just don't know why Xu applied for the actual test to use such a little weapon. Wait, is it a shield thing? A bold idea appeared in Li Yonghao's mind. Just when he looked at Tang Heibo with shocked eyes, the latter smiled happily. Chief, the ion energy shield. Seen your brother made it. Done. Li Yonghao is a little confused now. Before the meal, all of them were at the actual measurement site and saw with their own eyes that the ion energy shield was a bullet that could not stop thermal weapons, and even an ordinary Type 95 automatic rifle could penetrate the shield, combined with the fact that all the thermal weapons in the base are now used to measure. It also means, the shield is made, it is a complete version. His Li Yonghao sucked in a breath, because he didn't think that Xu Teng couldn't make a shield. In his subconscious mind, Xu Teng will definitely be able to make a shield. The key point is, how long does it take? As for things like scientific research, it is said that it is only a final step away, and 10 years later, it may still be a final step. But, Xu Teng, we went into the cafeteria with Ni for lunch at noon. I also saw the meals he ordered: spicy crayfish, spicy chicken, broccoli. Do you realize after eating a meal, is this the real genius? Don't look at me doing things that have nothing to do with experiments. Even if it's just a bland meal, what should be understood will still be understood. It turns out that this is what a genius does. Li Yonghao put away those messy emotions and said solemnly, I know, I will arrange it. You go back and tell your senior brother, and the actual measurement will start in 20 minutes, okay, Chief? Although all the weapons in the base, Li Yonghao has the power to mobilize. However, whether the actual measurement is a blow experiment is finally different. You don't unlock the key. Just hit the launch button and you're done. It is necessary to make reasonable arrangements, mobilize the scientific research personnel of the base, and build various experimental instruments. 20 minutes is still a bit tight for so many thermal weapon fire tests. So, right after he finished speaking, Li Yonghao went to make arrangements. Immediately the military orders fell like a mountain, and there was no joke as the announcement was posted. The base entered a state of first-level alert, and everyone was stunned. Fuck, all the hot weapons in the base have been tested. Is this the enemy coming over? The lightsaber base has been established from the very beginning to today, a total of more than 2 months. This is its first time level alert. All scientific research personnel are all in a state of combat readiness. As soon as he finished speaking, he was slapped on the head by the person behind him. What's the matter? You can't read the announcement completely? No wonder, you are the last of the last in every theoretical test. Ah. Then I'll take a closer look. It doesn't look good. It's even more surprising. I'm going. Is this what Xu Teng asked for? What? You questioned Xu Teng's request? No, it's not. The other party quickly denied it, joking. Although it was only 2 short days, Xu Teng had already become the most dazzling person in the lightsaber base, the lightsaber quartet, and their leader. These 5 people combined are not as dazzling as Xu Teng. It's the latter explanation, the need for a measured ion energy shield. I think about it, the meaning of this sentence is, the success of the ion energy shield. The person being questioned was silent for a while, and remembered the golden shield that had been blown up by a Type 95 automatic rifle before lunch. Although he was still a little hesitant in his heart, he still followed his words. From the point of view of the announcement, this is indeed what it means. So, our Xu Teng, oh no, Xu Shen. Has the shield's performance increased to the full level after 1 meal? I mean, after eating lunch, the shield was built? The latter, who was also wearing a white coat, responded with difficulty. It seems, yes, I remember that in addition to the 95 type automatic rifle, the hot weapons in our base also include AK-47 rifles, Barrett 82 heavy sniper rifles, Gatling machine guns, anti-infantry mines, anti-tank mines, RPG rocket launchers, anti-aircraft guns. As the names of the weapons were revealed, the latter immediately interrupted. Don't say it, I beg you, don't say it. Woo woo woo. Brush. The door was pushed open, and a guard shouted from the door, what are you still doing here? Hurry up and set up the actual measurement site. Receive. The 2 immediately sorted out their moods and responded loudly. Then they looked at each other. They had never understood the meaning in each other's eyes before this time. Both of them knew exactly what each other wanted to express. On the days when we make up the numbers in the world. Chapter 139. Goal. Experiments are foolproof. During these 20 minutes, Xu Teng has been testing various parameters of the ion energy shield. After adding the minute hand, the activation of the shield has changed significantly. In the original first activation method, the shield took time to fully generate, And now, it has become instant, successfully solving the time problem of the first activation method. The most critical point is that even with the first activation method, the shield can still convert energy. From the data comparison of the instruments, the difference is that the conversion efficiency is a little lower than the latter two startup methods. Of course, the biggest change is that the attack on the shield can be deflected. That's right, it's a bias. After successfully adding the minute hand, Xu Teng understood the sentence in the schematic diagram. It can deflect the impact of attacks on the surface of objects. From solid shells to directional energy. To put it simply, as the shield is activated, the minute hand above the dial starts to move. Golden energy began to flow towards the shield with a minute hand. Then, from a macro perspective, you can see that there are traces of ripples rippling on the surface of the shield with the air in front of it blown up. This is the stream of charged particles flowing in a direction over the shield. When Tang Heibo once again used the most primitive boxing skills, he found something different. Every punch on the shield deflects the direction or up, down, left, right. The most outrageous point is this: when the shield turned golden, he was almost thrown back and punched himself. If it wasn't for my quickness in closing my punches, it would almost have been me hitting myself. Well, the effect is very good. This is Xu Teng's idea. Well, the shield is very strong. I really want it. This is Tang Heibo's idea. Drop, drop, drop. 20 minutes have come. Tang Heibo, who was rubbing his fists, said, "Senior brother, the time is up. We can go." "Well, I'll go right now." All the instruments were turned off. Xu Teng walked to the holder, took the watch, and put it on his hand. "Come on, let me see for myself what the ion energy shield can withstand." At this moment, Tang Heibo, who was following Xu Teng, was full of thoughts. If I own a watch like this, wouldn't it be the most beautiful boy in this base? And this idea wasn't just in Tang Heibo's mind. On the other side, the base's actual measurement site, surrounded by people. "Actually, I still can't believe it," the white coat standing beside him replied. "Don't say you don't believe it. I still feel dreamy. If anyone has a meal, the problem will be solved. You don't believe it, that's because you can't do it, so you don't believe it. But that doesn't mean other people can't do it." Yuan Farron attacked directly and mercilessly. Puff. The researcher in the white coat seemed to hear the arrow pierce through the heart, and finally went directly to the Noxus guillotine. Although it hurts people, it seems that what others have said is the truth, simply irrefutable. It wasn't just the researchers in white coats who were injured. The 4-member lightsaber team said that the morning's experimental test had hurt people. According to the timeline, the lightsaber is the first product made by Xu Teng. The sci-fi thing has become a real thing, and when the 4 of them were selected, let's not be more happy. In the friction of the frontier, heavy weapons are sometimes not used, because that directly increases the friction and impact to another level of non-adjustment. So, choose the use of weapons. There are cold weapons, things that can be used for defense. Will also choose explosion-proof shields. Lightsaber squads or special squads. In the future, it is possible to deal with emergency conflicts at the border, or it may directly become an infiltration team and enter the enemy's rear battalion. Others took out daggers and 3-edged thorns, while our side directly activated lightsabers with different colors and different oscillation frequencies. This scene is very exciting just thinking about it. Then, the training of the lightsaber team of 4 is particularly hard, and they just want to meet the requirements as soon as possible and be able to go outside to perform special tasks. You see, this base has been established in the rainforest. If I really want to say it, it's because we established it. But the result, with the arrival of Xu Teng, the lightsaber squad of 4 got some other news. More than a month after the lightsaber was built, Xu Teng completed the blaster project. I heard that the gun has 3 energy scales to adapt to various extreme environments. The most extreme is power. Evenly, a big guy like Rong Sheng once said in person that below the missile, the blaster is invincible. That's shocking enough. What is a lightsaber compared to a blaster? And this time, not long after the blaster project, Xu Teng launched a new project, Ion Energy Shield. The morning test has already made the lightsaber 4-man team understand, even the simple version of the Ion Energy Shield can block the lightsaber. So, is the lightsaber going to become an obsolete product for sale in the future? Woo-hoo-woo. The lightsaber quartet had no words for suffering. The blaster gun is stronger than me. Simple ionic energy shields can protect me. Let's see what weapons will be used in the next test. AK-47 rifle, Barrett 82 heavy sniper rifle, Gatling machine gun, anti-infantry mine, anti-tank mine, RPG bazooka, anti-aircraft gun. Is this riding horse really used to test the shield strength? It was numb. And the 4 of them were directly numb. Even a small encounter would not use so many hot weapons. Yuan Farron looked up wearily, looking at Wu Zhi who was parked in the distance. His eyebrows twitched involuntarily. I heard that this thing is going to play. Destroy it. I'm so tired. I feel like a lightsaber is nothing more than that. At this moment, Li Yonghao looked at the two people walking from a distance, and immediately greeted them. Xiao Su, the experimental process has been completed as you said, then handed over a list of experimental items that have been compared. Xu Teng asked Tang Heibo to find someone, not just to convey the news of the actual test. On the other hand, it was also for the purpose of handing over the experimental project list to Li Yonghao. In Xu Teng's arrangement, all thermal weapons at the base need to be tested. All personnel should stay away from the experimental site to avoid accidents. The test of weapons is also gradually moving up from the less powerful Penfun library like the laboratory. In the morning, the ion energy shield was fixed on the shelf and activated by manipulating the manipulator. At the same time, a small wall was built behind the shield, and the wall was filled with various kinetic energy testing instruments to record the actual measurement of the kinetic energy of the bullet hitting. At this time, Xu Teng's goal is, the kinetic energy test instrument cannot record the actual measurement of the kinetic energy of the bullet. In other words, experimentation is foolproof. Chapter 140 Absolute Defense. Xu Teng looked at the experimental projects one by one. Even if it is handed over to the staff of the base to arrange it, he will check it again afterwards, not because of disbelief, but the biggest experiments can't be overly careful. The difference is 1,000 miles away, especially in scientific experiments. The researchers in white coats watched Xu Teng check the list of experimental items step by step, and whispered to each other, "Before, I didn't believe what people said about Xu Teng. After seeing it with my own eyes today, I believe it. That's right, so do I. It's only after I meet Xiao Su that I understand." It turns out that the words praising Xu Teng in those rumors are still a bit low-key. Someone once said to me, "Geniuses are arrogant." If someone said this to me again, I would ruthlessly attack them. There are two kinds of geniuses, one is called Xu Teng, and the other is called other. And Xu Teng is always stronger than the latter. Agree +1. 5 minutes later, Xu Teng handed the experimental project sheet to Tang Heibo, who was standing behind him, and said, "The experiment begins." Li Yonghao immediately picked up the walkie-talkie and said, "The experiment begins." Clear. In this experiment, everyone stood several kilometers away from the actual measurement site, surrounded by monitors and ultra-clear cameras. All the experimental procedures can be seen clearly. Tang Heibo glanced back. Xu Teng nodded, taking a deep breath. The former pressed the button on the console boom. The air in front exploded immediately. The shield opens in seconds. Xu Teng looked back at the energy meter, and the numbers were normal. The microvolt current on the shield surface is measured, and the data image is smooth. Looking at it again, the direction of the minute hand transmitted through the lens, with a rotation of each small grid of the minute hand, the golden energy slowly flows. This all points to a good sign. Everything works at this time. Everyone around was startled and discussed in a low voice. "Fuck, I remember there was a time delay when the first shield was activated." "Indeed, but now it's opened in seconds. The key is not here. Didn't you find that there is an extra minute hand on the dial?" This sentence focused everyone's attention on one lens through real-time ultra clear mirror. Not only did they see a minute hand moving around on the dial, but there was also a golden energy on the minute hand. Is this really reasonable? Why is there a golden energy flowing on it as the minute hand moves? Oh, right. In the next second, he thought of the following two activation methods, and the shield turned golden. Is it reasonable to compare? Very reasonable. There is nothing unreasonable about this. By the way, have you noticed, there is still something flowing on the surface of the shield? Hearing this sentence, everyone's eyes widened again, watching carefully. That's right, there's something like water running on the shield. It's like a stream of charged particles. Huh? Who was talking? Everyone looked up and found Tang Heibo standing beside them, looking at them with a smile. The smile gets worse and worse no matter how you look at it. It looks like a Shogun. Damn it. At the same time, a thought popped into the minds of all the researchers. This little fat man, even though he eats hard, his mind is not simple. Penfun library. You see, half of what you say. Don't say anything. What do the charged particles do? Someone still couldn't help but asked a question out of curiosity. Tang Heibo Nunazu said, "Look, you'll know right away." Bang bang bang. The dull sound of gunfire sounded. This was a Type 95 automatic rifle. Next second, boom, thump thump. This is the sound of bullets hitting the shield, different from the situation where a shot blasted the shield in the morning. This time, the shield was as stable as an old dog. Ding ding dong, ding ding dong. If it wasn't for the wrong occasion, Tang Heibo would have almost couldn't help sing along to the rhythm. It's not the reason why I deserted. It's such a strong sense of rhythm. I can't stand it at all. This voice, someone heard something wrong judging from the routine. Shields are nothing more than two situations in the face of attack: gets blasted, or block it directly. Strongly blocked, the sound is dull, it won't be so pleasant, which means, deflected. The shield deflected the attack. Someone couldn't help but screamed in excitement. The person who was thinking was stunned for a moment. Yes, that's it. The attack will be directed in a certain direction. Partial guide. It will not make that dull sound. Combined with what Tang Heibo just said, everyone's eyes lit up and murmured. It turns out to be like this. I understand. The minute hand moves on the dial, and every movement can drive golden energy. And that golden energy can generate a stream of charged particles on the surface of the shield. The fixed movement of the minute hand is actually the fixed moving direction of the charged particle flow on the shield surface. When the shield is attacked, the fixed moving charged particle flow can deflect the attack on the shield. This is the sound of bullets hitting the shield. Tang Heibo next to him was stunned. Good guy. He is indeed a researcher with extremely high confidentiality authority. I just called them a little bit, and through the on-site measurement and viewing, I can guess the general working principle of the shield strong. No wonder, there will be a microvolt emitter instrument. They now understand that this instrument reflects the state of the charged particle flow on the shield in real time, whether it is in a normal situation. At this moment, a sudden voice sounded. You. Look, there are also energy fluctuations on the energy value instrument. Everyone turned their heads. Under everyone's attention, the digital meter's measurement jumped again. This is energy converted. I remember this was the first way to activate the shield. Can the energy be converted before the golden ones come out? Oh my god, so terrifying. There began to be a sound of inhalation. If it is calculated like this, what degree of energy conversion efficiency will the shield of the third activation method achieve? Is this the full version of the ionic energy shield? In comparison, what is the simple version of the ion energy shield in the morning turn out to be? Can defensive weapons be so strong? No. It's not even a defensive weapon, just a shield. For the current level of technology, it's a bit out of line. So, ionic energy shield equals absolute defense. On the other side, the four-person lightsaber team covered their hearts. Don't talk. Don't talk. If you keep talking, the child will not be able to bear it. The lightsaber doesn't seem to be strong at all. Chapter 141:10, 000 rounds per minute. Is this reasonable? How proud I can be. In fact, I am also vulnerable to a single blow. The lightsaber group of four. At this time, the heart is very desolate. Never thought that it would become a background board accidentally, and it was still in such a luxurious hot weapon test. Barrett 82 heavy sniper rifle, caliber 12.7 by 99 mm in the war with the UAV in the beautiful country. Large caliber sniper rifles have received the attention of many countries at the same time. A long-lasting large-caliber sniper rifle development boom has been set off among the world's light weapons manufacturers because 50 caliber bullets, especially full metal bullets, can easily penetrate body armor below level 4 and many walls. In addition, the added kinetic energy M82 can penetrate hard armor and level 8 bulletproof glass more than the same level gun to kill the target. Theoretically, it is normal to use walls as bunkers in urban warfare. After all, in front of everyone, no matter how powerful your bullets are, can you pass through walls? Yo hell, this is the real world, not the wall hanging in the gamma boom. Before you finish speaking, the Barrett 82 heavy sniper rifle will teach you how to behave, but in the actual test, bang bang bang, a series of dull sounds. The Barrett 82 heavy sniper rifle will fire. The wall behind the shield is still intact. The instrument data for testing kinetic energy is still smooth and unmoved. And there is no response. This shield is too strong on horseback. It's way too outrageous from the current technology. Offensive weapons and defensive equipment are never balanced in the eyes of everyone. Offense is the best defense, so defensive equipment is difficult to protect a person's safety. The explosion-proof shield and the body armor, to a certain extent, just gave the user a psychological comfort, or rather, at the moment they were attacked, it left a relatively complete picture of them as four. The shield in front of him blocked the Barrett 82 heavy sniper rifle in the first activation method. Never heard of it at all. Xu Teng has been keeping an eye on the energy value instrument, and through the data of the instrument, he can see the limit of the shield's endurance, because the moment the energy value disappears is when the shield is penetrated. Okay, change to test weapon. Li Yonghao, who was standing next to him, immediately took out his walkie-talkie and said, "The next weapon test, clear." Someone on the other side responded immediately. The reason why the Gatling gun is famous all over the world is its unique design and the principle of shooting, the Gatling automatic principle, that is, the principle of rotating the tube. Uses a set of transmission mechanisms to rotate several barrels around a common axis to complete continuous shooting. Through this principle, many countries will re-improve it and apply it to firearms and small caliber cannons and anti-aircraft guns. The Gatling machine gun in the base is also a modified firearm after all. This is the lightsaber base, the base with the highest level of confidentiality in the Dragon Kingdom. How many weapons can shoot 10,000 rounds a minute? Is that reasonable? It's very reasonable. Just when the experiment was about to proceed further, Xu Teng stopped the experiment first. As Xu Teng opened the information, he calculated in his mind, the ammunition is a tungsten core armor-piercing projectile. And a carefully crafted high-strength rifle barrel ensures that the projectile can be fired with superior muzzle velocity and precision. It has extremely high shooting accuracy and multi-target engagement capability, and has a 96% damage rate when hitting a Mach 3 supersonic target. Judging from the figures displayed by the energy measuring instrument just now, the conversion efficiency of the minute hand is not very high. A series of shots from the Barrett 82 heavy sniper rifle did not damage the shield, but the energy was slowly decreasing, and in terms of firing frequency, the remodeled Gatling gun in the base is a bit too outrageous. 10,000 rounds a minute? Is this really still a machine gun? Forget it. Let's put the shield to the second test, although all the staff have reached an absolute safe distance. But the frequency of the machine gun will completely smash the test wall behind. It's better to be safe. Through the calculations in my mind, the first type of shield has a 40% probability of being destroyed, but activating the shield in the second way is 100% able to stop it. Xu Teng stepped forward and pressed the red button. Boom! The air in front of the shield exploded. Different from the last time, the full version of the ion energy shield has more space, covering all the material test walls behind. The more obvious point is that in the golden shield, some water can be clearly seen. The ripples are moving. Okay, let's start now. When Xu Teng finished saying this, Li Yonghao immediately picked up the walkie-talkie. Start. They're all familiar with the Gatling guns in the base. That's 10,000 shots per minute. What is 1,000 arrows piercing the heart? And what is a death without a burial place? This is Gatling machine gun. Let you have a worry-free future, especially for scientific researchers. There is a thought in their minds at this time. Can it really be prevented? These few guns in the base are actually underestimated to say that they are guns. As soon as everyone came up with this idea, they were interrupted by the clear sound of firearms. As everyone can see through the lens, the red lighting Gatling has not stopped since the moment it started, and that flame seems to be getting taller and taller at this moment. The energy numerical instrument directly skyrocketed with a swish. Hey, why is the data of that instrument skyrocketing? Does this mean that the shield is about to explode? Some people in the cooking class who didn't understand began to ask. This time the test is open. Everyone in the base is eligible to come and watch. Turning his head, he saw that the researcher in the white coat stared wide-eyed and opened his mouth like a picture of a scientist who has never seen the world. Teng Hebo recognized this as the uncle who often cooks for him, and praised himself. This man is good and can deal with it, so, he explained in a low voice, brother, it's the exact opposite of what you imagined. This shows that the shield is very effective. Very good. Looking through the camera, all the bullets start to deviate at a certain angle at the same time. A pleasant rhythm sounded. Ding ding dong. Ding ding dong again. This rhythm, how is it so like a Christmas song? Everyone can see that the water pattern on the golden shield has been fluctuating and getting bigger and bigger. Come on, only the last few seconds. Can you really defend against everything? Gatling, who is on fire, stopped in the next second. The barrel also slowly stopped. The whole place fell silent. The shield is still golden, and the test wall behind it is intact. This means the shield blocks all bullets. Fuck, this shield is strong. Sure enough, it's a project that Xiao Su shot. It's strong. At this moment, a boom interrupted the cheers of the base personnel. Chapter 142 Witness the miracle moment. The atmosphere instantly quieted down. What happened? The modified Gatling gun. Isn't the bullet already out? The next round of weapons testing has not been announced yet. Where did the sound of the explosion come from? Pen Fun Library. Did the gunpowder store explode? As soon as this thought came to him, Li Yonghao was startled and sweating non-stop. Quickly picked up the walkie-talkie and shouted, what's going on? Where did the explosion come from? Go check it out for me. Find out the reason for me in the shortest time. Before he could finish speaking, he was interrupted by Xu Teng to cast a spell. Uncle Li, don't be nervous. This is normal circumstances. Li Yonghao didn't react. It wasn't like that just now. Xu Teng looked at his doubtful eyes and explained, when the shield is golden, There are two situations. One is to store the impact of the shield into the energy of the shield, looking at everyone's expectant eyes. Xu Teng continued. The second is, it can release the excess energy. Just like Captain Yuan opened the shield before, the other three people holding the lightsaber were bounced off. This is another function of the shield, rebound damage. So, the sound of the explosion just now is caused by the shield reflecting the damage, which is normal. Rebound damage. Hearing this word, everyone was stunned. Experiment situation in the morning, the trio of lightsabers were ejected, and they didn't think much of it at first. I thought the shield was too strong. Now that I think about it, there are indeed many things that are wrong. The shield's strength is too high, and what does it have to do with the bounce? Now Xu Teng himself explained, this is the reason for the rebound damage. Gan, I heard the horse right. The shield is not only indestructible, but also has this effect. Is this what the future leaders of scientific research can do? Is it really a shield? Someone unconsciously asked a sentence to express doubts in their hearts. Another researcher in a white coat, with indifferent eyes, it should be a shield? The tone was extremely uncertain. Then, everyone turned to look at the picture in the camera. Small pits exploded in the open space in front of them. The clouds were nowhere to be seen, and black gunpowder smoke remained on the edges. Look up and watch the shield live through the camera. It is still a golden shield, and there are still watermarks on the surface. The shield is a tempered shield. How can there be such a normal shield? You hunt me, I won't suffer forever. Dog thief, eat me and rebound damage. Everyone in the lab couldn't help swallowing. That's a modified Gatling gun with 10,000 rounds per minute. Don't look at his unremarkable appearance. In fact, even if it is used for fighter jets, there is no problem at all. Crazy revs will only let the pilot know what it's called. Real cruelty at this time. Not only did the shield pass this test, it also allowed them to see another advanced feature of the shield. How to say just one word. I want it. What? You asked me why I don't research it myself. Just kidding. If I can research this thing, will I be the one standing in the audience shocked? It wasn't long before he calmly directed the entire experiment like Xu Teng on stage. The lightsaber team of four looked at each other, and saw other meanings in each other's eyes. Yuan Firen, you know what I mean. This watch has really good performance. Tang Yuan, yes. It fits my temperament very well. Liu Boran, it's a perfect match with a lightsaber. Wang Doyu, everyone, stop. Don't you think the blaster gun is the best match for the shield? The other three, go away, don't talk. Wang Doyu was successfully kicked out of the group chat at this time. Li Yonghao recovered from his state of shock. At first he was full of, who am I? Where am I? What am I doing? Pen Fun Library. But now, he finally understood his purpose. That is, stop talking. The ion energy shield must stay in the base of our lightsaber. After calming down, Li Yonghao opened the mouth and said, Xiao Su, is the experiment going to be the next test now? From the perspective of the experimental process, behind the Gartley machine gun are anti-infantry mines, anti-tank mines, RPG rocket launchers, anti-aircraft guns. At first, he was still a little suspicious. After all, the shield in the morning can't even stop the 95 type automatic rifle. And the performance of the shield directly breaks through the sky. Now it seems that there is no need to worry. Just don't know. No. Everyone was stunned. Isn't this shield test done yet? Why stop testing? The situation at the scene is like that. Clear experimental procedures. Just when someone wanted to persuade, Xu Teng said again, this time, let's change the experimental process and let all the hot weapons attack the shield. After 10 minutes, all weapons, all attack shields. This sentence is undoubtedly a bomb that exploded in everyone's mind. I'm on horseback. Did I hear it wrong? This is the first thought. Everyone looked at Xu Teng in unison, and used their eyes to verify. Seeing the latter, he nodded calmly. Fuck, Nima is awesome, riding on a horse. I'm not dreaming. A swear word kept coming out of the scene. I'm sorry. In fact, I have not swears for many years, and I also know that people of our identity need to be civilized. But all weapons together, who can resist such a scene? I almost thought someone was kidding me, but I was surprised to find, it seems to be me. Without knowledge, Li Yonghao also opened his mouth, but did not close it for a long time. Within seconds, his mood went up and down twice like a roller coaster. Originally thought that Xiao Su wanted to give up. He wanted to persuade him. Then I found that Xiao Su wanted to let go and make a big one, and put all the weapons together. Li Yonghao's words, I several times, did not say forget it. I don't know. Turning his head, looking at Xu Teng's firm eyes, Li Yonghao gritted his teeth and said into the walkie-talkie, everyone heard it clearly, the weapons on the experimental project are activated, and they are fired at the shield. 10 minutes later, yes, They also feel outrageous as operators, but there is one thing they are firm on, and that is, in scientific research, no matter what the experimental process is like, you can always trust Xu Teng. In fact, just now in the gap period when everyone was shocked by the shield, based on the experimental data this time, Xu Teng has already calculated the approximate formula. The semi-golden shield is able to withstand a single test of all weapons because of the efficiency of the shield's conversion of energy. The strength of the shield can be maintained all the time. This is the sentence: the more you hit me, the happier I am, and he calculated it through the formula. In theory, the third activation method, the full golden shield, can block the attack of all weapon salvos next. It is time to witness a miracle. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 143: Energy Value Crosses the Cordon. The scientific researcher in a white coat sorted out his words and said in a low voice, "I can't believe it." Looking at the eyes of others who turned their heads, he quickly explained, "It's not that I don't believe Xiao Su, it's just, this is really a bit outrageous. It's really outrageous, not only his thoughts, but also the thoughts of everyone present. Anti-infantry mines and anti-tank mines do not have such a large visual impact after all. The former is for interfering with vehicles and people and the like. The latter is to penetrate the armor of the tank from a distance. The effect is just a boom, and then a pit is added to the flat road. But RPG rocket launchers, anti-aircraft guns, and WuZhi are different. The RPG rocket launcher is a portable anti-tank launcher, commonly known as a rocket launcher. This is a man-portable anti-tank weapon that mainly fires armor-piercing warheads and is mainly used for close-quarters strikes against tanks, armored vehicles, and destroying fortifications. It is different from the boom of anti-tank mines. It was held on the shoulder, and after it was launched, there was a pull sound, and a tail flame emerged from the tail. Then there was a super loud bang, and a large string of fireballs appeared. The visual effects are a blast, and the anti-aircraft guns behind their purpose is mainly to attack air targets such as aircraft, helicopters, and aircraft. It usually has the characteristics of long gun body, large initial velocity, large firing range, fast firing rate, and high firing accuracy. The rocket anti-aircraft gun in the base was specially modified. 32 tubes can be fired at the same time. The number of tubes is large, the projectiles are scattered in a large range, and the probability of killing is high. The emission sound is extremely small, and the rate of fire is fast. Described in one sentence: within range, it is the truth. The visual effect is, boom 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 boom, you are still in a daze, and all the ammunition with flames at the tail is falling from the sky. As for WuZhi, needless to say, it was specially developed for the battlefield. The reason why the Dragon Kingdom can achieve a short period of peace is because we have these weapons that surprise foreigners who dare not act rashly. Look at the dense array of airborne weapons below. Looking at the ionic energy shield again, the carrier is just a tiny watch. It is exactly the same as the watch that is usually worn on the wrist. To see the time, this size difference, can you really defend against all weapon salvos? There are studies in white coats. The staff asked Tang Heibo, who was standing next to him, in a soft voice. The lightsaber squad of 4 looked at each other, moved closer silently, and overheard with an expression of indifference. If it's someone else, I can't. Tang Heibo looked up at Xu Teng, who took out a blank piece of paper and kept counting the data. He took a breath and said in a firm tone, "I believe in senior brother." At this moment, 10 minutes countdown. It was extraordinarily long, and everyone was staring at the clock that kept passing. Drop drop drop. 10 minutes have come. Li Yonghao looked up at Xu Teng, who nodded. Xu Teng calmly pressed the black button under everyone's attention. Boom! The full golden shield appeared in the camera, and across the screen everyone could see the minute hand moving unhurriedly in the table. The golden energy flows, and the ripples on the surface of the shield are faster than the last time. Now that he was ready, Li Yonghao picked up the walkie-talkie and said, "Attention all units, after 10 seconds, all weapons will start firing for 30 seconds. The reason why the duration was set at 30 seconds was strictly calculated by Xu Teng. The third shield activation method improves energy conversion efficiency. The corresponding stored energy value is also too high. After 30 seconds, the shield will start reflecting damage. After all, this is an actual measurement site, not a battlefield with such a strong rebound of energy damage." If he continued to shoot, he didn't know what would happen. Pen Fun Library clear. The people in the control room all started to take a breath subconsciously because of tension. The lightsaber base has been established for more than 2 months. and they usually conduct weapon tests but never let all the hot weapons come at once. Some people even started to take out earplugs. Don't think they can still hear the explosion from so far away. Li Yonghao silently turned the sound to the lowest level. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, fire. With Li Yonghao's order, all the weapons in the shot were fired through the lens. Everyone can see it. The ground kicked up dust. This was a Barrett 82 heavy sniper rifle. This is a red lighting Gatling machine gun, capable of firing 10,000 rounds a minute. Bang bang bang. On the land in front of the shield, there are more pits after another, which is from the mine series. Chirp chirp. The tail dragged on fire rockets. The anti-aircraft guns fired round after round of salvos, and the sound of Wu Zihi's original boom boom engine could not be heard. All you can see is the airborne weapons hanging below, all fired, constantly blazing. Until this moment, all weapons are fired in salvo. The people in the control room felt the fear of firepower for many years. And this moment was cured. Look how beautiful the picture inside the lenses. It's all explosions. Explosions are art. When all the weapons hit the golden shield, the dazzling fire made everyone close their eyes even through the camera. Boom boom boom. Li Yonghao wisely turned the volume down to the lowest level, but the voice still made people's heart tremble. Puff puff. A few kilometers away from the control room, soil was constantly falling from the ceiling. The first thought of everyone present was, fire coverage. It really makes people feel safe. The second thought is, damn, such a strong firepower coverage. Can the golden shield generated by that small watch really block it? This horse. The encounter will not be so intense. Everyone turned back and saw that Xu Teng was still sitting calmly in front of the instrument. All fluctuations cannot affect him. Measuring the microvoltmeter on the surface of the shield, the value has skyrocketed. It's a stream of charged particles that's acting like crazy, deflecting the munitions attack. Explain. The shield is safe. After hearing the analysis of this sentence, everyone followed Xu Teng and turned their heads to look at the camera behind the shield. Despite the ammunition in the front, the data on the rear kinetic energy measurement wall was smooth as ever. All the bullets that hit the shield were deflected. That's right. Under this attack the shield is indeed safe, and there is no sign of breaking the shield. The energy value of the shield starts to grow wildly, and it will soon exceed the warning line, just as Xu Teng had calculated. With a third shield activation method, the efficiency of energy conversion reached a terrifying level. The color of the shield is already starting to shine. The color of pure gold was about to pass through the screen, overflowing. No. It will be alright. Everyone subconsciously held their breath. The next moment, all weapons stopped firing. The air was instantly quiet, and everyone seemed to smell the smell of gunpowder. Ali defended. This is the first thought to spur a clear voice. This is the energy value crossing the warning line. Chapter 144. The cooked duck in the bowl is about to fly. Happy New Year. The atmosphere is slowly changing. The joy that the shield successfully blocked all weapon tests disappeared quietly. All that remains is the tense atmosphere. The energy value did not stop after crossing the warning line, and was still slowly rising through the lens. You can also see the golden light in front of the shield, getting brighter and brighter, as if emotions are brewing. The first reaction of the people around, the shield is not going to explode. Second reaction, we are still far from the actual test site. Should, probably not affect us. The lightsaber team of 4, the staff of the cooking class, were not so nervous yet. Only a group of researchers in white coats were beating in their hearts. I kept thinking back in my mind, so spacecraft, the screws were not tightened, and finally failed to go to the sky and disintegrated in the air. And the golden color of the shield in this shot is so bright that people can't open their eyes. The white-coated researcher standing beside Tang Heibo asked the former in a low voice, will there be any problems in the experiment? Question. Tang Heibo turned his head and glanced at Xu Teng. Senior brother was standing steadily in front of the instrument table, looking at the values on the instrument calmly. No, there will be no problem. Looking at the researcher's still uneasy eyes, Tang Heibo said firmly, if the experiment is not absolutely safe, senior brother will not start it. Just finished speaking, the golden energy in front of the camera has reached its highest peak. In the next second, swollen gold began to fill the entire shot. Boom boom boom. The sound of explosions continued to sound through other angles of the lens. Everyone can see that clouds are constantly being lifted in front of the shield. 10 seconds later, when everything settled down, there were several deep pits in the actual measurement site, and the largest one was probably 5 meters in size. Through visual inspection, is this a shield? Is this really the shield technology? In my mind, why, the ion energy shield created in Xiaoxing's project is so violent. The researchers were dumbfounded. The staff in the cooking class couldn't help but exclaimed, the value is already within the green safety zone. Everyone turned their heads and looked at the meter of energy value. That's right, the current values are as safe as if nothing happened just now. Just when someone wanted to ask Tang Heibo, the latter was the first to explain. After the shield takes damage, most of the energy will be converted into a backup energy source. Take the understanding is, you are charging me. And the other part, the shield will bounce the energy back. Looking at the series of deep pits in front of the shield through the camera, and the deep pits with a maximum diameter of nearly 5 meters, everyone was in deep thought. I don't know what's wrong, but it always feels wrong at this time. Xu Teng didn't pay attention to the expressions of the people around him. The energy value of the shield has fallen into the value of the safe zone, and the value has not changed. At the same time, the microvoltmeter on the surface of the shield is stable and has no abnormal data. It shows that the performance of the shield is stable. The water pattern on the surface of the shield has a fixed direction, indicating that after taking damage, the stream of charged particles moves normally. Everyone turned their heads and listened carefully to Xu Teng's thoughts. Xu Teng turned his head and looked at the camera behind the shield again. The lens on the test kinetic energy wall was not exploded. The real-time data on the kinetic energy instrument meter is always 0, indicating that no bullets penetrated the shield. The rebound damage is also stable, so the experimental results are out. Hearing this sentence, everyone held their breath, and some people's faces began to flush with excitement. Ion energy shield passed the actual test. We succeeded. Turning around, Xu Teng said the last sentence to everyone. Ha. If it succeeds, I know it will definitely succeed in the end. It's really awesome. Such a small watch can block the attacks of all weapons. With Xiaosu, all difficulties are not troubles. Amazing. So this is a genius. Longuo is lucky. Our scientific research level has begun to catch up with them. At this moment, someone suddenly shouted, Xiaosu, Xiaosu. The people around were stunned for a moment, and then reacted slowly. Someone started to raise their arms and wave their fists. Xiaosu, Xiaosu. Immediately afterwards, everyone said in unison, Xiaosu, Xiaosu. Sonically and forcefully, he turned his head to look at the young man in the white coat on the stage. Facing this sudden situation, Xu Teng was taken aback. Immediately afterwards, he looked at everyone with a smile, took a step back, slowly bent over, and bowed deeply to the people around him. The sound stopped suddenly. The next second, everyone applauded. Those on the aged scientific researcher, seeing this scene, murmured, Longuo Xu Teng will surely return to glory. People have always been tolerant of true geniuses. Some faults that do not touch the bottom line are only minor faults that can be ignored in the eyes of everyone, and this humble, polite, and pure scientific genius who doesn't love, all from the bottom of my heart. Looking at Xu Teng, who was bowing, Li Yonghao began to make calculations in his heart. Don't look at the ion energy shield. The main body is just a good watch, but the strength of the shield is really amazing. Judging from the field test, it can protect against missiles. That's not the most important point, but the point, it bounces back damage. Turning his head to look at the deep hole in the camera, Li Yonghao muttered in his heart, although Tang Heibo only said that part of the damage was bounced back, on the battlefield, this part of the damage is probably 60% to 70%, which is outrageous. The real thing is already here, and our base is the base of the lightsaber. With our authority, it should not be difficult to apply for the ion energy shield test. By the way, there are still schematic diagrams. I just want Xiaosu to teach these researchers. Time must be fast, because in addition to the lightsaber base, there is also a research base for blasting guns, although, I also think that the ion energy shield is more suitable for the blaster gun. Bah, what are you thinking? The perfect match is the lightsaber. On the other side, the 4 lightsabers were also beating their little Jiu in their hearts. Yuan Firen, I think the shield should be assigned to the captain first. Tang Yuan, what are you talking about, Captain? You have used it last time. Liu Boran, that's right, I think it should be. Wang Doyu, yes, it should be used for me. Then, when Xu Teng walked towards Li Yonghao, the lightsaber team of 4 silently leaned on them, thinking about what kind of wording should be used. I got the ion energy shield first. As a result, before he could speak, he heard Xu Teng speak first. Uncle Li, I want to apply for one thing. Haha, Xiaosu, you're welcome. No matter what you ask, I'll do it right away. Then I said it. I want to go to the blaster base with the ion energy shield. Li Yonghao, lightsaber squad of 4, what the hell? The cooked duck in the bowl is about to fly? Chapter 145. This is my country, my home. Xu Teng has this idea, not out of the blue. but in combination with a certain reality. The first point is, the general probability of getting the ion energy shield from the black technology system is, it deflects the impact of attacks on surfaces, from solid shells to directed energy flows, entity artillery shells. Just tested the experiments 10 minutes ago. Those deep bits have shown that the shield research is very successful in this area. As for the energy flow behind, today's technology doesn't have redundant corresponding weapons. The only one is the blaster gun created by Xu Teng some time ago, so he would propose to go to the blaster gun experimental base to test the ion energy shield. If you want to know if you can prevent directional energy flow, you have to go there. The second point is, the black technology system has not prompted the completion of the project until now. When the functions of lightsabers and blasters and weapons reached the generalization of the schematic diagram, the prompt sound of the system to complete the project came out immediately. This shows that in the detection of the system, directional energy flow, this piece must be tested at the same time. Xu Teng also wanted to know what kind of rewards the project would get this time and how long it will take to unlock the blueprints of the new technology. Once it's done, Xu Teng's sixth sense told him that there is a certain secret behind the black technology system. In Xu Teng's impression, the technology of the blaster gun has not been fully analyzed by Longuo to some extent. Lightsabers are not as important as blasters. Someone else's application to transfer the blaster will definitely not be successful. If the applicant is Xu Teng, the request must be passed, but how could Xu Teng do such a thing? He would rather trouble himself than Longuo wasting resources on this kind of scheduling, so it can only be that Xu Teng went to the base of the blaster with the ion energy shield. As for Li Yonghao on the lightsaber team of 4, he didn't know what Xu Teng was thinking. What they heard was, Bara, energy ion shield, Bara to blaster base. If it was other places, the 5 of them would not be in a hurry at all, but if you're talking about blasters, nonsense, there is no hurry. Our base also needs a talent like Xiao Su. The smile on Li Yonghao's face was a little stiff. Fear of the situation finally appeared after being silent for a while. Li Yonghao said cautiously, Xiao Su, do you have to go? The voice trembled involuntarily, like a resentful woman in a deep boudoir. Xu Teng also felt that his tone was not right. Combined with everything just now, he understood. It turned out that he was afraid that if he left, the ion energy shield directly became a trial product in the blaster gun base. Thinking of this, Xu Teng was a little dumbfounded, and quickly explained, Uncle Li, there is still a test for the ion energy shield that has not been done yet. He stretched out his hand and pulled out the white paper beside him, pointed to the general outline on the schematic and said, the directional energy flow must be tested. The only weapon that meets this requirement is the blaster gun at this stage. Hearing these words, Li Yonghao and the lightsaber team of 4 let out a sigh of relief. They said in unison, so that's how it is. Why? Do we talk together? The 5 were stunned again. It turned out that I was not the only one who was thinking about the ion energy shield. It's clear that everyone should be good friends for life. Li Yonghao's expression changed slightly, forcibly diverting everyone's attention. Then Xiao Su, will you come back then? Return. Xu Teng was taken aback when he heard this. It sounds so family-like. Turning his head, he saw the eager eyes of the researchers in white coats, the honest eyes of the comrades in the cooking class, and the firm eyes of the lightsaber team of 4. His time here was really short, less than 2 days. Inadvertently, his status in the eyes of everyone surpassed that of the lightsaber team of 4 and the head of the base. Li Yonghao, if he wants to take a single scientific research path, he will definitely choose to stay. When he hears this sentence and looks at the group of people in front of him. But here's the thing. Xu Teng's goal is to be an all-around scientific researcher. He would not be able to stay in any secret base in the Dragon Kingdom for a long time. Only, the Dragon Country is so big, where has it never been home? The border of the country is the place of home. Xu Teng turned his head and smiled. Uncle Li, Long Country is my home. As long as you are in Long Country, isn't my heart with you all the time? After a pause, he continued, if, Uncle Li, you really miss me, then I'll come to the lightsaber base to find you. After everyone was stunned for a while, they woke up. That's right, isn't the Dragon Country your home? We stayed away from our families and went to unknown places for several years or even 10 years. Pen Fun Library. What for? Isn't it the peace of the Dragon Kingdom as a whole? When the heart is together, the distance is not the distance. Actually, there is one more thing. Li Yonghao, the lightsaber group of 4, and most of the people in the base knew about Xu Teng's choice for them. Xu Teng's goal, to become an all-round scientific researcher. This news is open in their scientific research community. Longuo also did his best to pave the way for Xu Teng because he completed the lightsaber. blaster gun and ion energy shield independently. He is a scientific research hero in everyone's mind, and everyone believes in him, and he will definitely be able to do it. Oh, right. Xu Teng thought about something and said softly, Uncle Lee, after the ion energy shield is tested in the blaster base, I will apply for a new base. I hope that the ion energy shield, like the lightsaber, can be independently developed and manufactured in the arsenal. Well, I know that. In fact, Li Yonghao's idea of keeping the ion energy shield behind was just a thought. After all, he also knew that when the ion energy shield test was successful, it was definitely not put into use as a sample. Because there is only one piece in the Dragon Kingdom now, the first step is to establish a new scientific research base, to successfully analyze all the technologies of the ion energy shield, and to produce it independently for the country. New high-tech technology, as the Soul Li Yonghao said. Then I will ask the upper management for instructions. Uncle Lee, trouble you? Hearing this, Li Yonghao laughed and said, it's not troublesome to meet a pure scientific researcher like Xiao Su. For me, this life is worth it. The older generation is like that until his death. He was all about the Dragon Kingdom. If I can see the satisfied younger generation, I feel even more happy. There was an academician who was still working in the hospital bed for the last few minutes before him. The nurse advised him, you can take a break. No, I'm afraid that once I close my eyes, I won't be able to open them again. This is my country, my home. Chapter 146. Wait, this plot is wrong. On the other side, in the blaster gun base, many researchers in white coats are discussing the last part of the schematic drawing. More than a month has passed since Xu Teng completed the blaster project relying on the schematic diagram and the experimental manual handed over by Xu Teng. The analysis progress finally reached 90%, but in the final step, everyone was stuck. It was only now that they knew how strong Xu Teng's scientific research strength was. Others are alone, and it took more than a month to make it. And what about in this base? Not to mention there are dozens of people. It is really a person who supports a scientific research team at this time. Fang Yi, who was sitting at the top, expressed a headache as a well-known troll in the Dragon Academy of Sciences, and even in the scientific research community. He has often scolded the following people. He always has an illusion. The younger generation I work with is really the power of the new generation of scientific research? No, why do I always feel that they are doing scientific research while herding cattle? Thinking of this, a young figure in a white coat broke into his mind, so he sighed involuntarily. Hey, it's been so long. I don't know what happened to Xiao Su. I heard that he wanted to be an all-round scientific researcher, and he left a legend as a graduate student in Huaking. It's really amazing to study all the basic knowledge of all subjects in the School of Physics in 1 month. Why don't you come to the Dragon Academy? I think I need you very much. Dong dong dong. The rapid knock on the door interrupted Fang Yi's thoughts. Come in. The people outside heard Fang Yi's voice and opened the door with a swish. It was the secretary. I didn't say, don't disturb us when we are in a meeting, the secretary hurriedly said. There is urgent news just now. What urgent news? Fang Yi frowned displeasedly and made up his mind. No matter what news, he said, he must start spraying first. Ever since Fang Yi became an academician, he has used his status as a troll to the fullest. There are no people he dare not spray, only those who he should pay attention to spray lightly. After all, you are a scientific researcher, and you must have the courage to tell the truth. This sentence is Fang Yi's motto. The above said that Xu Teng will come to the blaster gun base later, and it also said that he would borrow the blaster gun for product testing of the new project, and in Fang Yi's ears, what he heard was Barabara, borrow with a blaster, give the product test of the new project. Nimas, who would dare to borrow a blaster gun at this time? Don't you know that the blaster has reached the most critical moment? Also product testing for new projects. Do you think you are dear Xiao Su? Fang Yi raised his eyebrows and said angrily, why does he borrow it when he says it is? Who does he think he is? Go and tell him. Hearing these words, the secretary thought to himself, it's over, I'm going to be scolded again. Why does this troll like to troll people? Result, after waiting for a long time, no sound was heard. Looking up, Fang Yi's expression was stunned, and the latter asked uncertainly, who did you just say is coming? Huh? The secretary turned sideways and tentatively said, Xu Teng. It says he is coming. Xu Teng, it's my dear comrade Su. He raised his brows. I thought of him just now, and he came right away. He really deserves to be my dear comrade Su. Fang Yi said happily. Go and tell the people above. Forget it. I'll go in person. He got up suddenly, and the chair he was sitting on was knocked over. Boom. Looking at the closed door, everyone in the conference room looked at each other. Someone asked the secretary tentatively, are you telling the truth? Really? The secretary answered bluntly in the face of well-known trolls in the scientific research world. I'm a no-brainer pen fun library in the face of you bastards. I strike hard, bang bang bang. The successive stools were knocked over by the crowd, who suddenly got up. Fuck, Xu is here. Just everyone, hurry up. We can finally solve the last problem of this blaster. That's it. Not only that, but the secretary didn't say he brought a new project and said that he needed to use a blaster as a test subject. Isn't that? Another experiment was successful. Nima, I have to accept it. A real genius is a genius, and he's too old. I don't know if Xu will accept students. Looking at the meeting room that was instantly empty, the secretary was startled. I just came here. Does the name Xu Teng have such great magic power to you? There are still people who want to be his students, ba? No, shameless. At this time, Tang Heibo's heart was very complicated, with 8 parts of surprise, 1 part of panic, and 1 part of anxiety. Unexpectedly, within 3 days, I can take a helicopter twice in a row and from a secret base to another secret base. Thinking about it carefully, this may be the peak moment of his life. The previous base was a lightsaber base, and the other base we were going to was a blaster base. Speaking of blasters, Tang Heibo has been involved for a while. The one thing he regrets most is that he didn't see the final result of the blaster gun. I don't know the shape of the blaster gun, the power of the blaster gun. Immediately, his regret will be completed through seeing your brother Xu. Even at a certain moment, Tang Heibo was a little suspicious. Brother, is it Xu to remain a Mengtang, especially for people like him? To realize the wish in his heart, the helicopter began to land, and a group of researchers in white coats stood under the base. The moment the door was opened, the pilot turned his head and saluted. I wish you all a successful experiment. Xu Teng smiled and said, I wish you a smooth journey as well. Not long after he finished speaking, a group of researchers standing beside him gathered around. In particular, the old man at the front was extremely enthusiastic, and it was like running. Hey, slow down. Xu Teng hurriedly stepped forward to help, for fear that the old man would fall. It's okay, it's okay. The old man raised his head and smiled. Xu, we met again. Do you remember me? Huh? Is this? Xu Teng looked carefully. Of course he knew it. My name is Feng Yi, and everyone else is an ordinary old man. I don't care if I don't remember their names. This way of introducing names is really impressive. Academician Fang, of course I remember you. Ha ha ha. Xu is polite. Just call me Uncle Fang. Come and call someone to get acquainted with him first. This request seems a bit strange, Uncle Fang. Well, goodly. In just a few seconds, the surrounding researchers were stunned, and they simply broke their cognition and many more. The plot is wrong. Pen Fun Library, are you not a famous troll in the scientific research world? Why do you have such a warm and kind side? For more than a month, when you scolded us, it was not like this at all. After the greeting was over, Feng Yu began to ask about business. I heard that you need to borrow a blaster to complete the test. What is it that requires a blaster gun? Feng Yu's words also made everyone curious because of the power of the blaster gun. They are very clear below the missile. Invincible. Chapter 147. The most curious thing to say is, the researchers in white coats around Pen Fun Library, after more than a month of in-depth research, they finally understood how terrifying the blaster gun that Xu Teng opened. What RPG bazooka? What Gatling machine gun? In front of the blaster are all brothers, especially the energy scale on the front 2 gears of the blaster is not bad. What is the outrageous thing about the energy scale of the 3rd gear? 15 meters deep pit? That's right. Is there anything in this world that can protect against a blaster gun? That's absolutely impossible. Don't say I'm bragging. Even developer Xu Teng can't make armor that can block blaster guns facing so many curious eyes. Xu Teng took a deep breath and said slowly, I'm here today to test the ion energy shield. In theory, it can protect against blaster guns. By the way, according to the data calculation of the principle, even the 3rd energy scale, the ion energy shield can block it. As soon as the voice fell, everyone's eyes were strange, especially those scientific researchers. We just denied in our hearts that there is no armor in this world that can stop them. You tell us yourself. The blaster gun of the 3rd energy scale, it is nothing more than that. If it was someone else, Fang Yi, a professional troll, would definitely have something to say to him, but a person in front of him is Xu Teng. Dear comrades, Xu, he never jokes with people in scientific research like the first time he saw the lightsaber paper. And now this secret blaster base. Fang Yi took a deep breath and calmed down the excitement in his heart. What is the energy ion shield? Xu Teng raised his wrist and showed the watch he was wearing. This is it. This, I go. What is this? How is it different from what we all imagined in everyone's cognition? The shield is an entity. Moreover, to prevent the manic output of the third energy scale of the blaster gun, it must be a large physical shield. Just now, there were people who kept looking around, trying to see if the assistant beside him had the shield result. As soon as I looked up, I saw my dear comrade Su, showing the watch on his hand to everyone. If it were someone else, someone would jump out on the spot to rebut. I think you are here to make a fool of yourself. Xu Teng looked up at everyone's dazed expressions, and immediately understood the blaster base is closed. The ion energy shield is a new item, and it's normal that they don't know about it. Fun library. After all, it is not easy to break a person's inherent cognition. Su, why don't you show it to us? Although Fang Yi is a well-known troll in the scientific research community, his love for scientific research is impeccable, especially this kind of thing that sounds very strong and can block the 3 energy scales of the blaster gun is even more interesting. Well, good. Then you give in first. When the space was opened, all eyes were drawn to the watch on Xu Teng's wrist. Boom, the air exploded, and a transparent shield appeared in front of everyone. The most important point was that there seemed to be water patterns flowing on the shield. Fuck, well, so handsome. Some people were accidentally shocked out of national quintessence at this moment. Even Fang Yi thought, is this the ion energy shield? Really want, if I could have it, wouldn't it be the most beautiful boy in the Dragon Kingdom? During these 20 minutes, the staff in the base kept building the upcoming experimental equipment in the experimental process designed by Xu Teng. It is still everyone who stays away from the actual measurement site, and uses a manipulator instead of the operation, first activates the ion energy shield, and then activates the blaster gun. Each form of shield activation corresponds to a test of the blaster's energy scale. It is already an experimental setup, and the final finishing work is done. The researcher in the white coat kept looking back at the fixed watch with a curious look in his eyes. Hey, do you have to? I've seen you look in that direction 800 times in those 20 minutes. Oh, no, it's 801. The person who was told pouted. Che, you are too embarrassed to talk about me. When Su showed it, you obviously saw it, but you have seen it more than me. The latter felt a little guilty for a moment, and pretended to be calm and said, Fart, how can you smear people's innocence out of thin air? Before you finish speaking, just listen when the other party starts reporting data. You looked in that direction 1,000 times in total. Oh no, now it's 1,001, 200 times more than me. Gan, careless. Why does this person count the number of times I see it when he's looking at the ion energy shield? The next second, he picked up the walkie-talkie to report that the experiment was ready and forcibly ended the topic. Well, thanks for your hard work. You should leave the scene now. Through the lens, Xu Teng watched the entire process of the staff tidying up the scene. He also directed the power on and finally confirmed the correctness of the equipment. In the field of scientific research, Xu Teng's attitude is impeccable. No trouble, no trouble. Several staff members left the scene and said to themselves, it is easy to distract people during the 20-minute interval. Xu Teng quickly calculated the test data of the blaster gun and the test data of the ion energy shield through the formula. In theory, the ion energy shield can block the blaster because of the 3 activation methods of the shield. Each of them can convert the damage that hits the shield into energy. Now, it is to verify the correctness of the theoretical data. Fang Yi turned his head and asked, Su, start the experiment now. The surrounding staff have slowly accepted the scene in front of them. They never imagined that a well-known professional troll in the scientific research world also had a super good temper and, facing his own elders only, as a developer of already 3 separate projects, Xu Teng, it's normal for the sprayer to collapse his own character. After all, they also heard the classic conversation between the 2 staff members just now. In just 20 minutes, you looked at the shield more times than I did. Xu Teng nodded in response. The experiment begins, with Fang Yi's order. Various instruments and equipment were started. The microvoltmeter data on the shield surface is normal. The shield energy instrument data is normal. The camera behind the shield shows normal. The internal temperature data of the blaster is normal. With a normal reporting of experimental instrument data, the much anticipated experiment has come to a critical juncture. Boom, the air explodes and the shield is activated. Fun library. Chapter 148. Is this the ionic energy shield? The researchers who looked past through the lens were surprised by Xu Teng's progress on the project, but also by his creativity. Lightsaber, blaster, ion energy shield. Every product developed is going up. Moreover, Su's age is too young on the road of scientific research. Buzzing. This is the blaster, the sound of being activated. Teng Heibo looked at the actual measurement site through the camera. This was the first collision between the spear and the shield. The details of the two projects come to mind. The blaster shot through the test board. Ionic energy shield, blocking weapon fire test. Can the stream of charged particles above really deflect a blue energy attack? Turning his head to look at the senior brother who was looking at the instrument data, the latter still had a light expression on his face. Next second a bang brought his thoughts back to reality. At this moment, the faint blue light of the thickness of chopsticks hit the shield. The situation that the shield was penetrated did not appear, and everyone could clearly see it through the lens at the moment when the faint blue light hit the shield. The water pattern on the surface began to move violently, and began to spin wildly in the clockwise direction. Boom! The faint blue light was redirected, and it was directly refracted and hit the soil next to it at an angle. Immediately afterwards, the staff in front of each instrument began to report the situation continuously. The microvolt data on the surface of the shield is normal, and the rate of increase is within the theoretical data range. The shield energy conversion value is normal, increasing at a slow rate, and it takes about a minute to enter the red warning zone. Blaster internal temperature data is normal. Continuous firing. In the set experimental procedure, the first experiment was 1 minute. The second experiment was 50 seconds, and the third experiment was 40 seconds because the blaster gun is too powerful, and the back of the shield can rebound damage. Xu Teng calculated theoretically that this is the safest time in the experimental process. Beyond this paragraph, even he would not dare to take the risk. This is not a battlefield. The continuous output of powerful weapons may cause inestimable damage. Even weapons testing must be defined within a safe range. Boom boom boom. The faint blue light continued to be refracted by the shield, and the sound of the explosion continued for Xu Teng. These were calculated results that were already foreseen. However, the experimenters present were not calm, and the expressions on many people's faces couldn't hold it any longer. They were discussing in a low voice. Fuck, the blaster was really blocked. That's right, that faint blue light. But the armor of the aircraft carrier will be pierced. I thought that there was no shield technology in the world that could prevent blaster guns. But now, I was wrong, and I found that my thinking was still limited. One thing to say, I really want this ion energy shield. As soon as the sentence was finished, the people around him looked at him with a strange look. It seems to be saying, hey, you are a researcher at the blaster base, huh? The inexplicable scientific researcher asked, why, don't you all want it? Several people looked at each other, and then said in unison, no, we want it too. Cut. The mouth is disgusting and the body is upright, old arrogant. Exclamation mark. After a minute, despair. With a sound, the manipulator whose time has been set operates again. The ion energy shield shuts down, and the blaster returns to calm. Only the staff is still holding the data. The current data began to drop. It has stabilized and the data is normal. The energy value has been returned to the initial value, and the data is normal. Everyone turned to look at the blaster. If the data there is also normal, blast gun temperature data has returned to normal. Internal explosive gas has dropped. Theoretical data. At this moment, the laboratory fell into silence. Next second, group cheers. Haha, absolutely, it really succeeded. The shield really blocked the output of the blaster gun. Great. This is a good sign. All the data are within theoretical values. The most excited was Fang Yi, who was standing next to Xu Teng. During the whole experiment, he saw Xu Teng's calm expression with his own eyes. There are two reasons for this expression. First, it doesn't matter to the experiment. Second, be confident about the whole situation of the experiment. The final data indeed confirmed his idea. Xu Teng did indeed have breasts. There are bamboos. All experimental data are within theoretical limits. Can this guy spray? No, absolutely not. Xu Teng clapped his hands, and everyone around him became quiet and turned to look at him. After 3 minutes, conduct the second round of experiments. Okay. After getting the answer, Xu Teng took out a blank paper, and was calculating again based on the real-time data. Look, even if the first phase of the experiment is successful, he is still so serious. If there are people in the scientific research community of Longo, there are more people like Ziosu. Do some countries still dare to provoke us like this? Absolutely not, but it's okay. There will definitely be more of them in the future. Fang Yi looked at Tang Habel, who was standing next to him. Those who could be brought over by Ziosu would definitely have a special place at this time. Xu Teng is constantly analyzing with real-time data. From the feedback, the energy converted by the shield is offsetting the damage. Simple explanation, it is the converted energy that accelerates the flow of charged particles on the surface of the shield. Otherwise, even with the first activation method, the rate of energy growth cannot be so fast. In this way, the shield faces energy flow and physical projectiles, and the energy conversion rate is different. The rate of conversion of energy flow is fast, the rate of conversion of the latter is slow. The following experiments should be the same. The most critical point is this: the rebound damage is not as terrible as the previous tests at the lightsaber base. Before the tests, Xu Teng had been worried about a problem, that is, the rebound damage of the physical shells is so strong, and there are so many deep pits around in the face of the blaster gun. Wouldn't it make people stunned? Maybe the test site will be gone. According to various data, the shield converts all the damage of the energy flow to the charged particle flow on the surface of the shield. In the later test, there is no such amazing rebound damage at this moment. Tang Heibo stepped forward and reminded, "Senior brother, the time has come. Well, start the next experiment." With a press of the button, boom, when the shield appeared, everyone was stupid. I go, "Why is it a golden shield? Hey, it's over the top." Chapter 149. The script is the same. They never imagined that the color of the shield could also be changed, and this shield is not physical at all. It is generated by the excitation of a magnetic field. Can magnetic fields change color? Nemas, not reasonable at all. Buzzing, the output of the second energy scale of the blasting gun. The diameter of the blue light can reach 0.5 meters, and the utilization rate of the volatile explosive gas can reach 60%. The improvement of data brings the most direct feeling. The explosive growth of power. All tacitly turned their heads to stare at the real-time footage of the shield boom. Compared with just now, everyone could see that the shield was shaken by the impact. The golden color dimmed instantly, and the water pattern on the shield surface was suppressed by the faint blue light and could not be seen. The values of various shield instruments on the scene began to grow wildly. "No, it's going to break at the beginning." Someone couldn't help pinching the flesh on his body. "Ouch!" The next second, the person standing beside him called out, "Why are you pinching me? I am nervous." So, looking at the sincere eyes on the other side, the former honestly admitted his mistake and said, "I'm sorry, I'm afraid of pain." Again, before they could have a further exchange, they heard someone at the scene exclaiming, "Look, the numbers are starting to drop," with the direction of his fingers. Everyone saw that the energy value data of the shield began to gradually decrease, and the data on the microvoltmeter began to rise. Turn around. The gold in the real-time footage gradually suppresses the blue light that hits it, and the water pattern rotates in a counterclockwise direction. Boom boom boom, the same as last time. The faint blue light reflected on the open space next to it. Pieces of soil began to fly, and one big hole after another appeared on the test field on the other side of the camera. The blaster is still blocked. If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes, I would suspect someone was synthesizing the video. That's a dark blue beam with a diameter of 0.5 meters. I thought there was nothing in this world that could prevent it. 20 seconds, 40 seconds, no one spoke anymore, and everyone looked at the shield's data with bated breath. Energy value, microvolts, an ionic energy shield. The relevant data, each item is almost as stable as an old dog. 50 seconds to spur. With the last sound, the atmosphere fell into an eerie silence because everyone was shocked. The shield's performance is too easy. "You told me about blaster guns." "What? That's not my brother. There's nothing to brag about. It can't even break my shield." Xu Teng was still looking at the real-time data, making calculations in his heart. "In the previous experiment, I added the interval time to think that the shield needs to cool down, but from the situation on site, when the ion energy shield faces the energy flow, the rebound damage is not so much, and a large part of the energy is all converted into the operation of maintaining the charged particle flow. The key point is, from the data point of view, when facing weapons with energy flow, the energy of the shield is the key. There is no need for cooling time. Even so, the time between experiments does not need to exist." At this moment, Tang Heibo stepped forward and said, "Senior brother, the test is over. Shall we start the next round of experiments in 3 minutes?" Xu Teng looked up and said, "No. We'll start now." "Okay." Just when Tang Heibo wanted to turn around and announce that it was still 3 minutes, he was stunned for a moment, and asked uncertainly, "Senior brother, did you just say we will start now?" "Yes." Fang Yi, who was standing beside him, reacted much faster and waved his hand. "Have you heard what Xiao Su said? The third round of experiments will begin immediately. What do you all do to eat? This is the attitude of doing scientific research? It's obviously fishing. I can find any cattle herder, and I'm better than you." Facing the crowd, Fang Yi's troll's attributes were instantly activated. The researchers in white coats immediately felt the fear of being dominated again. In fact, Fang Yi is not clear why this time there is no need for experimental time, but it doesn't matter, it's Xiao Su who is talking. I just need to trust him. Look at the 2 experiments that have been carried out. Do you need me to complicate it? unnecessary. Xiaosu's performance was perfect, and the entire experiment was under his control. He have lived so much, and for the first time I have this feeling. It turns out that scientific research is also like this. Simple time. No, I finally saw Xiaosu once. I must find an opportunity to let him go to the Dragon Academy of Sciences. Isn't it the road to all-round scientific research? You can also learn from us. Why do you have to stay in Huaking for so long? In other words, Su Wei's ordinary applied mathematics old man should also be released. If I don't let him go, I have to find a chance to spray him. Once the other staff didn't know the thoughts of the strongest trolls in the scientific research world. They just stared at the shield and the camera in a daze. We originally thought that the half-gold shield was the ultimate situation, but who knows, this thing is still full of gold, and it is transparent from the inside out. From the outside it's all gold. And is this magic? No, it's definitely magic. Obviously scientific research is the most scientific. Why are there always people who use the reputation of doing science to cast spells? Before, everyone was a little worried. The blue light emitted by the third energy scale was 1 meter in diameter. Do the math. The diameter of the second energy scale is 0.5 meters. After doubling, the diameter is 1 meter. The second shield activation method is half gold, and the last activation method is full gold. Everyone has the same multiplier the second time. You can't the third time. Do you still want to do it? Dream. Thinking about this, all researchers are like drama chasers who have been spoiled by the finale. There was no excitement in an instant. Looking at the blaster gun emitting a faint blue light, there was a hint of pity in everyone's eyes. Oh, what a silly child, you obviously can't do it, the ending is already doomed. Boom, the faint blue light hit the shield, making a dull sound just like the last time. The golden light is still suppressed in an instant. Immediately after that, the energy value slowly drops, the golden light suppresses the blue light, and the water pattern rotates in a counterclockwise direction. Even the script is the same. Boom boom boom, the same refracted beam hits the ground in the same way compared with the last time. The only difference is that this time the light is thick and long. Despair. With a sound, the experiment is completely over at this moment. Xu Teng froze in place because... Chapter 150. Let me tell you something. At this moment, the voice of the long-lost black technology system resounded in Xu Teng's mind. Ding. The Ion Energy Shield project has been completed. Searching. Within the potential reservation time, the host played a non-negligible role in the entire project, successfully turning the drawings into real scientific research products. During the production, the drawings were successfully improved, and a golden drawing product was created by himself. Evaluation and progress. Evaluation. The reward is being drawn, and the reward has been successfully drawn. Amplifier. Defective blueprint. It can double the power of any product in 1 minute, and the amplifier will burn out after 1 minute, without affecting the weapon. Ion Energy Shield Expansion Technology. Incomplete blueprint. After the blueprint is completed, the Ion Energy Shield can be transformed into a shield for other products. Genetic Potion. With complete blueprints, the low-end version of the Red Star brand energy solution, which has improved to a certain extent. Get energy points. 5. Total energy points. 9. Unlock the side quest, The Legend of the God of Learning. How could it only exist in one college? Please choose any college to join in the next time. Intimate note, from that day on, everyone will remember the fear of being dominated by the God of Learning. Countdown to unlock new technology. 20 days. At the beginning, Xu Teng was bewildered by the series of system prompts because, even if he guessed that the reward would be quite a lot, but what I didn't expect was that the black technology system gave too much this time. Different from the last reward, this time there are several different things. The first is the blueprint, which surprised Xu Teng. The rewards of the system can also reveal the blueprints, although it is incomplete, but judging from the introduction of the system, it is also very strong. The introduction of the effect of amplifier is double the power in 1 minute if you put this on lightsabers, blasters, ion energy shields. Even if the situation is at a disadvantage, this sudden burst of double the power might be able to reverse the situation in an instant. Lightsaber. The maximum oscillation frequency is doubled. Pen Fun Library. The third energy scale of the blaster gun. The faint blue light is 1 meter in diameter, which directly becomes 2 meters. The ion energy shield is all golden, and the shield area is expanded, which can protect more people. Especially with the exception of blasters, most weapons today are live ammunition. The ionic energy shield absorbs more firepower and finally bounces the damage back. Wouldn't the battlefield be divided into a large area in an instant, and the damage rebound could clear the field? You hit me now, but in the end, I actually hit myself. Moreover, The key point is, after the amplifier is destroyed, the weapon itself will not be affected. So, is this really a weakness? When Xu Teng immersed with spiritual power, he found a note. Due to incomplete drawings, in actual manufacturing, only one can be successful a day. Seeing this sentence, Xu Teng's face twitched slightly. He understood even if the entire country's arsenal produces tens of thousands of them a day, only one can work. Yan, incomplete drawings can actually affect reality. This made Xu Teng wonder for the first time whether something in the black technology system was related to theology. Then, think again. It seems that there is nothing impossible to even get things like badges. To Xu Teng's surprise, he just completed the project of the ion energy shield. The reward came out: shield expansion technology. The blueprint is incomplete, from the drawing point of view, because it is incomplete. The key expansion technology is missing. It is still only worn on the wrist as a watch, as equipment for individual soldier planning. However, Xu Teng always had a feeling after completing the shield expansion drawings, it seems that it can be used in various technologies such as daily travel, military equipment, aerospace. Hey, it's a pity the black technology system does not provide a way to obtain the complete blueprint. It seems to be entirely up to you. When you draw rewards in the future, will your face turn pale and you will send it into your soul? As for the later, energy liquid, incomplete blueprint, it is more like a potion to increase physique. Look at the remarks inside: prolong life and prevent all diseases. It really is a low-profile version of the Red Star brand energy liquid. It's much worse than the reward Xu Teng got before. Red Star energy liquid, the energy point is the one that gets the most. From this point of view, the completion speed of the project and the golden blueprint that burst out can affect how much energy point is obtained. What surprised Xu Teng the most was the side quest that followed, Legend of the Learning God. Intimate remarks are even more embarrassing. Embarrassed. You translate for me. What is it? From that day on, everyone will remember the fear of being dominated by the god of learning. Can a serious black technology system have such intimate remarks? No matter how you look at it, it looks like a middle school remark. 2KO returns to 2KO. This side quest, Xu Teng will still choose to do it because this is the first side quest of the black technology system. Who knows if another badge will pop out of it. I have to say, the effect of the badge is really good after using it a few times. Xu Teng likes this thing more and more. How come? From what the black technology system released, with the increase of energy points, the system is getting smarter and smarter. Just which school should I go to? Xu Teng was really a little reluctant for his teacher Su Wei and senior brother Yun, but he also knew this was the only way for him. Taking the path of all-round scientific research is doomed. That Xu Teng will not stay in a school for a long time. Xiao Su, with a call of a voice, Xu Teng gradually woke up from the contemplation of examining the rewards of the black technology system. You. Are you alright? Feng Yi asked cautiously. The moment the ion energy shield succeeded, all the staff began to cheer because this is another witness to the birth of a miracle. The shield can not only block the damage, but also reflect the damage. Oh my god, everyone almost thought they were dreaming. Only Feng Yi, who has been paying attention to Xu Teng, feels that something is wrong. Why is Xiao Su always talking to himself? Is he too tired? Well, it's alright. Xu Teng turned to Feng Yi and smiled in order to reassure the other party. He explained, I was just wondering if the ion energy shield could be expanded. Listen, this is pure scientific researcher. Everyone was cheering, and Xu Teng, the project leader, even started to think about whether the shield technology could be further expanded. Xiao Su, don't let yourself get too tired. This ion energy shield has just been completed. We should celebrate it first, and we will talk about it later. Uncle Feng, you're right. Feng Yi turned his head to look. Everyone around was celebrating well. The atmosphere is in place. People are also in place. It seems that some backlog of things should be said. Xiao Su, I want to tell you something. End of this chapter. Thank you so much for reading until the end. Don't forget to give it a like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription or donation encourages us to continue. Thank you all. See you in the next video.